can see you.
Wow, live. You'll
Yes,
enjoy.
we sure hope so.
Just
uh,
picking the low-hanging fruits early, folks. That's how it's done.
Welcome to Lies You'll Enjoy. This is just for the VOD viewers later. A little corner of the internet where we tell all manner of lies, but really mostly ones that happen during tabletop indie role playing games. And we really hope you'll enjoy them. This is not our full crew, as you might realize. There is about to be one more, but Amanda, our third member, is currently streaming on a different stream. Imagine that. She is such a pro streamer that she has multiple streams in one day, and she has to commute from stream to stream. And she will do that soon, and we will suddenly have an Amanda among us. But for the time being, weekly updates, Kurt. This is a new segment on Lies You'll Enjoy.
Ooh, weekly updates.
Truths you'll humor. How? What happened to you this week, Kurt?
What did happen to me this week? I feel like honestly less than a normal week.
Whoa.
It was just like I saw a lot of friends. I cooked in two different instances over the past 2 days. I cooked dinner at a friend's house with the friend. That's a fun thing that doesn't happen every day, except if you extrapolate it only based on data points from the past 2 days. It does happen every day. And that's just what I learned this week.
When Kurt and I are left alone, oftentimes we have a little thing called syrup time because, as everybody knows, when Canadians have to do small talk, we don't talk about the weather or sports. We talk about the thing that we share in our culture, which is maple syrup, and by extension, syrup of all sorts. And I was home in Ottawa for the weekend for Easter, and I was delighted when dinner conversation turned to a syrup story. Every time anybody mentions syrup in my real life, I'm like, yes, content. Finally, I'll have something to say to Kurt when things are quiet. And my grandmother is 90 years old. Very impressive lady. Lives on her own. Is visually
That's a good
impaired.
score.
Yeah, right?
Oh, wait, visually impaired? Never mind. No, gonna dock some marks.
And she was desperately trying to make pecan pie for our Easter celebration. And she was trying to open the corn syrup, which is an important part of a pecan pie recipe, as far as I'm aware. And she was like, she had she had it. She was trying to open the bottle of corn syrup, and it was not opening. It wouldn't flip open. And she called my mom and was like, I don't know what's going on. This corn syrup won't open. And it was they were trying everything. They were just run it under hot water, blah, blah, blah. Nothing was working. Luckily, my uncle was going to arrive at my grandma's house later that day. And so she was like, I'll just wait. I'll find out, I'll get him to help me when he gets here. And he got there and she was like, oh, okay, can you please help me? Please open the corn syrup that's on the counter. And he went into the kitchen and he was like, what corn syrup? She's like, the corn syrup on the counter or in the bottle. And he was like, oh, you mean the orange juice? And my poor grandmother had been trying to flip open the top of the orange juice cap, which also comes in a 1 liter plastic bottle, just as corn syrup does.
As it does.
So how are you supposed to know?
You really can't.
You can't.
It's unfair. It's unfair. You're just trying to get access to your syrup. And gosh darn it, you can't.
You can't.
That's an injustice in the world that we should really strive to fix.
We need some sort of clear symbol of what is a corn syrup bottle. Maybe something really obvious.
Maybe it needs to be shucked.
Yeah. Or just in the shape of corn, perhaps. Would that be useful?
No, I think you physically have to, all those little corn threads, those do need to be physically, removed.
They have to be removed.
Yeah, that's what has to happen before you can do anything else. That's what I say.
To those of you who are in our little chat here, feel free to say hi. I don't think anybody has yet, or my Stream is delayed. Oh,
What?
hello.
I've been typing away for minutes. You haven't even seen it? Well, Otto's here. Otto's in YouTube.
Ah,
Hi,
hello,
Otto.
Otto. I was just heading over to YouTube to check on people. Oh, hey,
We
Otto.
promise we will have a pretty overlay, but I don't design a version that's just for Anthony and I for the 2 seconds that we're alone. Although now that I say that out loud, maybe I
Hey,
should.
you actually could. It would be very easy for me to switch between them. That might be a thing we should think about.
I
Hey,
might make a little generic pre-stream one.
that'd be great. Hi, Rapala. You're asking about syrup. I've got bad news for you. You've got to go back in the stream about 3 minutes, and there is all the syrup you could want.
It was an excellent syrup story. We don't always have syrup stories, but this week we did, and you missed it. For God's sake, you missed it.
Bakure over on YouTube says we need a bro zone overlay, which is exactly what we need.
Yeah, no,
Bro
that is true.
zone.
You're right, Bailey, and I don't know how I didn't think of that before. But the time will come.
uh, hey Otto, we're doing good. How are you doing? I've been in 3 different cities in the last 48 hours, I think. So
Walking, it took Anthony a long time.
yeah. My legs are tired, so I'm really glad to sit down here on the floor of my room and play games with y'all. Rapala, you're magical. What kind of magical creature would Rapala be if he was a magical creature? I'm thinking satyr, maybe.
That's fun. Yeah, Satyr has a good energy.
I feel like
Maybe like a fast ent.
a fast end,
Mm-hmm.
which just means sort of like medium slow by end standards, you know.
Yeah, so I'm thinking like a kudzu, maybe like a kudzu ent. Beautifully ornamental, quite delicious
Okay,
apparently,
yeah.
but maybe could also dismantle the southern United States if you really were trying.
Yeah, I don't know if that's like a nice thing to say about somebody calling them kudzu.
I think kudzu gets a bad rap in that it's decimated ecosystems, and but people don't realize that they can eat it is the thing. That's what would turn it all around. Free fiber. If I was if I was
Fiber.
down there, there would be no kudzu problem. That's not true. I will tell you a story, which is that once Anthony was at my home and I had, so there's something called Buy Nothing, which is a sort of neighborhood gifting group in which you can freely pass things back and forth to your neighbors, whether it's sort of a loan or it's something more permanent. It's just nice. It's nice to be able to get something and not pay for it and have a support of your community. But I'm not here to advocate for buy nothing. I've already done that. Haha, tricked you. And now's probably where I pause this story so that we can say hi to Amanda and
Hello!
stream.
Oh, we're getting
Hello.
raided. Okay, everybody, our 4 viewers, pick up your axes and your swords and fend off this raid. Send them out of here. Get rid of them.
I don't think it's going to happen. I think we're
No,
going to be washed away in
we're
the tide.
outnumbered.
Great wooden arc of Amanda's viewership.
Whoa! Hello, Vampex13 crew. Fangang, welcome
How lovely
to
to have you.
what I think of as the dessert of Amanda's stream. You know, you've been there, you've been eating your vegetables in Marvel Rivals, I'm guessing, but I don't really sure. And now it's kind of the same meal, but it's a bit different. And it's much, much sweeter because we're here.
Wow. Wow. We're really I don't know if we could take credit for that one. We're probably just one of those weird salads that you didn't finish before you made dinner. And
Yeah,
then
fair.
now you're like, "Oh, well, we already ate the corn dogs, but salad,
We have
it
to have
seems like it
salad
should be
now.
salad time now." Yeah.
Yeah, that's fair. I think that's good. What if we're like the like turkey sandwiches that you eat after Thanksgiving? And in this analogy, Amanda is the turkey. Yes, correct. Um, because it's it's the same thing, but we just add a little bit. You know,
Yeah,
Amanda's
I
going to
do
join
know.
us here for a second. Hello, Amanda.
Wow. Hello.
Hello, everybody. Hi. I have
Hi.
I have I'm listening to the stream and listening to me and Wow, there was a lot of us all at once. I forgot to mute the stream before I entered, and I was like, whoa, so many echoes.
Whoa!
Whoa! And then our whole thing appears. That was very exciting. Hello, everyone. Did you miss me, chat? I was gone for like a whole few minutes there.
A whole few minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah, thanks for letting us babysit them for a second.
Oh, thank you, Rapala. Thank you. I loved listening to your chat. Oh my God, it was great. Um,
Welcome. I missed you,
thank you.
personally.
I missed you guys, and I'm excited to be here. And yes, I was playing Marvel Rivals.
Oh, I got it right.
It's Monday, so we're back to our Marvel Mondays. So that's been going really well.
How'd you do today?
Yeah, but it was a short stream. It was good. It was good. We won some, we lost some.
As you do.
As long as that's how it goes. Sometimes you win some, you lose some. Who is this vamp person? Says Lumix. Yes. Who is this? Who is this vamp woman?
Yeah, we have a new guest on our stream that we just wanted to introduce you guys to. This is Amanda, a new friend of ours. Not sure if you've heard of her. I don't know who Vampex 13 is. I refuse to acknowledge that name.
Oh my gosh. But oh, what was I gonna say? I was gonna say yeah, we're playing a game today. I was telling people about the butterfly court as we ended.
Sweet.
And I'm very excited. You missed me terribly, Joker. I know I was gone for like 2 minutes. It was a long time.
It's a toughie. It's a toughie.
Amanda,
yeah.
do we need to let anybody know what this is before we begin, or do you think
everybody
everybody knows?
I told people that it was. This is what I said. I said butterfly court.
Yeah.
It is a game of intrigue. And then Joker was like, "Who's on trial?" And I was like, "Oh, I don't think it's that kind of court. I think it's like royal." Drama.
It's funny that you already told Joker that in the other stream, because Joker came into this stream like, who's the lawyers in here? Where's my lawyers at?
It's a good joke. What are you gonna do?
Well, I did say it as we were like raiding in, so I don't know. Joker may have not heard me, but yes, it will not be the you're on trial kind of court. It'll be like the, like I heard that so-and-so said this to this person, and also now you're gonna be executed. Surprise. This is a coup. One of those types of courts. Yeah.
Well, I hope there's no coup. That would be a lot.
I don't know. I actually don't know much about this game, so I could have made that all up, and that might not be true. You know who really knows about this game? Kurt knows about this game.
Oh, dang.
But
also,
wait, who is
we?
Kurt?
Yeah. Nice segue, everyone. We nailed it.
Killed it.
Hi, folks. My name is Kurt. I am a role-playing game designer, lover of role-playing games, aficionado of role-playing games, and I like to come online every Monday and play some games with my friends, Anthony and Amanda. Anthony, who the heck are you?
My name is Anthony, and I am a children's writer, mostly about Minecraft. This is a big month for me. And a storyteller.
Is that still true? Sorry.
Wait, what?
Immediately interrupting. Is that still true?
Yeah.
That I mostly write about Minecraft?
Yeah.
Yeah, most of my books are about Minecraft, at least the ones that sell. And it's Minecraft movie month, so, everyone's talking about it. It's a big day. But more importantly, for today, I have been playing role-playing games my whole life. I'm that guy in the friend group whenever Dungeons and Dragons comes up, where people are like, Anthony plays D&D. That's the kind of guy I am, just so that you know. Long-time dungeon master who's now sort of found a fun retirement home in this little group right here where we play indie RPGs together, and I don't have to make up the whole world, only about a third of it. Way better. And I just love playing with these guys. Amanda, who are you?
I'm Amanda. I've been trying to covertly take a picture of us this entire time.
Oh.
I don't look like we can. You guys want to pose for this picture?
Yeah.
This is like the best one I got, and I think we could do better than this. You can't really see it on my phone, probably, but let's try. Everyone make a face and pretend like you're having fun. And then I just have to wait for the stream to catch up. So hold on. There we go. Did it, I think. That's great.
Who's to say for sure?
Totally not fabricated. I just want to post on Instagram to let people know that we're here for people that want to tune in for this stream. But also, hello, I'm Amanda. I am a cosplayer, a streamer, a YouTuber, a doer of many things. Too many things. I literally just had a conversation today with Duck about how I do way too many things. However, I love all of them dearly. And yes, I am a variety streamer when it comes to my types of streams, but we actually started doing this awesome RPG stream a few years ago on my channel, and then we were just like, this is like kind of becoming its own like thing, and we could just have like a whole little RPG nook where we do this. So that's why we created together Lies You'll Enjoy, which is a product of all of us, and as Anthony said, is something that we do where we usually don't play a lot of GM'd games, so we are kind of all the GMs and also all the characters. And sometimes we're multiple characters, sometimes we're like 5 characters each. It can be crazy. The last game we played, we were each 3 characters. And we also built the world together. So that was pretty nuts. So yeah, we play a lot of little indie games too that are very different, that are not D&D, even though I also love D&D as an RPG player. But you know who doesn't love D&D? Kurt. Kurt, why don't you tell us about what this game is today, which is not D&D.
What a segue.
What an intro. I mean, folks, she's not wrong, but it's not a marketing point. In fact, some would say it's an anti-marketing point. I'm actually just going to say before we continue, there was a moment at the end of the stream that we did last week in which we were trying to decide who to pass the torch along to, what stream to send folks over to when we were finished. And someone advocated that one of the streamers that was going were good people. We were like, amazing, we'll send them that way. But there was a piece of my heart that said, oh, but they are playing 5e, say the tags. Oh, well, that's fine. That's fine. And then it turns out the 5e was just for marketing so that people would look at it because 5e is wildly popular. And I'm the only human being in the world for whom that was not actually a good...
It's a deterrent. He's like, 5e?
Oh,
right.
Well, I mean, if we must.
Whereas everyone else would be like, 5e, like Dungeons and Dragons? Hell
Love
yeah.
that.
And then click it and be like, oh, this isn't Dungeons and Dragons. But yeah, that's the thing. It's like, otherwise, I think sometimes people just aren't as interested in, or like also just aren't as aware of, I think, the indie scene of RPGs and
sure
really
who
what
could
it
blame
has
them?
to offer, because there's a lot, like in like any type of game you want to play, like it exists, like someone has made it, and there's probably also a very accessible and even likely a very low cost version of that game. And whereas Dungeons and Dragons is a thing that, like, for the price, you know what I mean? Because
who could say? Not me.
Okay.
I couldn't say anything like that, and I never would.
Wizards of the Coast, if you guys want to sponsor us at any point, we'd love to be sponsored.
It'll kill Kurt, but but we'd love it.
But you know, Wizards of the Coast is like, yeah, constantly this. And so I feel like the other thing that's really important about our stream that we maybe don't talk about is just like how mainstream RPGs, well, just really Dungeons and Dragons, is constantly they're trying to like make it more expensive, whereas these other RPGs are like affordable because it's really just about the love of the game, not about exploiting the fan base or the players, which is nice.
Fair enough, yeah.
All of our games are created by lovely people that we play, that Kurt is probably already a fan of, and they're all like just really fun and unique games. So thank you everyone for joining us on this journey.
We appreciate you.
Yeah,
we really do. Shall we jump right into it and learn about Butterfly Court? Because as Amanda said, Amanda doesn't know anything about the game. I also evidently don't know anything about the game. A peek behind the curtain is that I write all of the like titles and descriptions and everything. And about 5 minutes before we went live, I turned to Kurt and went, "But this is like a fairy court, right?" And he was like, "No, there's nothing about fairies in the game." And I went, "Oh no!" And I had to go rewrite. I had to remove a lot of fairy emojis from things. Is mostly what was important to do. So if you look carefully through any of the materials, descriptions attached to any streams or announcements that you see, there may still be a couple remnants of fairies.
A little glimpse of
Just
fairy.
a little bit. But I'm telling you right now, there are no fairies in this game. None.
Sadly, no fairies. So if you came for fairies today, sorry to disappoint you. Um, but that
We
that
all
is the
thought
funny thing is like Kurt actually knows pretty much all of our games because Kurt is the person that puts our season together, our like entire season. Like Anthony and I have input. If there's something we want to play, we bring it up. But
He's not
Kurt is
bullying
like,
us into playing the games.
no, we want to play these games,
that
but
would
it's
maybe
also
be funny though.
you must play this game. And we're like, can we just play D&D, Kurt? And you're like, never.
We've been begging to play D&D from the beginning. We thought this was a D&D stream, so we're super confused.
We're still waiting for the D&D to come into it. It's been a few years, but I think we're gonna play D&D next time, right, Kurt?
Any day now.
Great.
Yeah, any day now.
Kurt, do you want to make like a subscription goal for for us playing D&D?
Kurt's like, you couldn't pay me enough money.
Everyone would be so disappointed because it would last so short a period of time. And D&D is like, there's a lot of fighting, so there's not like, I mean, the story moves at a different pace than what we're doing.
It's true.
That is true.
We'd kill a couple goblins and our one shot would be over, and I would feel like I hustled people.
Oh my goodness. So
So
this is what is this game?
what is this
What is
indeed?
this?
I would invite you to, if at least one of you
Uh-huh.
could jump in our shared folder and open up the PDF called Butterfly Court.
I have it
A court
open.
intrigue game. Beautiful. There's an italicized sort of intro under a giant number 1, and there are a lot of proper names in it. So if someone's willing, I see Anthony's already given me a thumbs up, so Anthony is willing.
I am willing. Let's give this a go.
You guys
Whoa.
know, sorry, I'm just
We
posting
zoomed in
so
on it,
people know
Amanda.
that we're live.
You're
Yeah,
shock.
Hello. I don't know why that happened, but I was just gonna say I'm just posting.
You're just posting. Okay, post and listen because I'm going to give you the background.
Yes.
Okay.
Tell me this story and I will listen.
Okay.
While I finish this post,
Here we go.
and then I'll fix my camera.
Okay. Order of events. A jagged but lush coastline, equally comprised of verdant growth and storm-gray cliffs. Powerful rains that pummel fishing boats, but nourish the bountiful farms further inland. And nestled in a natural harbor, presiding over aquamarine waters and dangerous reefs, the city Pheles. Pheles is the jewel in the country, the crown of the country Praecia, but its glittering streets and equally colorful courtiers give it the name it is more often called, the Butterfly Court. Ruled by the enigmatic Eotalas, the Butterfly Court is a knotted web of debts, whims, fancies, and rivalries. While many may dismiss the courtiers of the Butterfly Court as frivolous nobles and their hangers-on, their action nonetheless determined the fate of Praecia. And with the ambitious Queen Yora in control of the neighboring country Asmari, the peasants agitating for more rights, and the mysterious woodkin stirring intrigues in their own mythic court, that fate seems more uncertain than ever.
So maybe there's a tiny bit of magic, just a little as a treat.
Can there please be one fairy?
There could probably be. Okay, just for you two, there can be one fairy.
Okay, thank you.
Of course, of
I
course.
will be a fairy at any time if you need me to be a fairy.
Oh no,
I
not
just-
this game. This
Oh.
game, we are mortal as hell.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say,
Okay.
I just took pictures as a fairy the other day.
Oh, that's fun.
Like a photo shoot?
Yeah, well, I just did my own little photo shoot.
Oh, cool
but
though. Fun.
I posted some on OF, and I'm gonna post some on Instagram that are apropos. But I had to use like these wings. I'm doing like a fundraiser right now over on on OF for new wings, which are also on my throne.
A
Because my
fundraiser for
wings
new
are-
wings.
My wings are falling apart. They're from a Tinkerbell costume, circa like 2000 and I don't know 6 or 8 or something.
Wow.
And
Vintage.
the wires coming out. Yeah. Anyways, they're only
We
made
need
to
new
Velcro
wings.
to the dress. So I need some new wings. But there's really good wings on the market, guys. If you want fairy wings.
Whoa. Man, the free market delivers everything, including fairy wings. What a world.
I personally feel like fairy wings don't come out of the right spot of the body. Fairy wings, angel wings, they got the same problems. Wings are supposed to come out of here, I think.
What?
Oh, yeah.
You don't
and
like
they
back
come out of
wings?
Here. Your shoulder blades?
Right, like these should be wings. You don't get
But
wings
I mean,
and
that's
arms.
where birds' wings come out of, doesn't it? Like
That's
right
what I'm
here?
saying. Well,
Right,
no,
but
bird
we're not a
wings.
bird.
This is bird.
Bird wings
Man.
arm.
Our arms are wings?
Yeah.
Yeah.
How do you
Anatomically.
know?
What do you mean?
But what about for
How do you
creatures that have
know?
arms and wings? Are those technically four-armed creatures?
Who has arms and wings?
Yeah.
Fairies.
Okay. So that's
like, okay, all right.
But like a real creature, you mean?
Yeah.
Like bugs, don't they?
like bugs.
I guess, I mean, they got legs and wings. Sure, maybe fairies is bugs, and that's what we learned today.
Yeah.
That's
I
a
don't-
horrifying image.
Yeah, how do I feel about that? That might actually not be something I like.
No, that now the image of a fairy has been ruined. I'm gonna try to find like if someone draws for me, I will include it in my post when I make a post, or if someone can find a meme for me of like a bug fairy, and I will include it when I make my fairy post and just make that the last one and be like, but guys, what if bugs were just fairies? And then they can enjoy the horror of that image.
The problem is that bugs have 6 legs and 2 wings, so they
That's
actually
what-
have
yeah.
even more. It's
So
too
it's
many.
a lot of, it's too much. And then imagine that, but now it's a fairy. Take that and fairyify it, and then say, how do you feel about that?
How do you feel about that?
How do you feel about that? That was
What-
more fun to say than I thought that it would be.
What if fairies were bugs? I'm gonna see if I can find images on this, but before we do that, we should probably play this game.
Yeah, let's figure out how to play this game.
Okay, so this game is a lot like a couple that we've played before because it is based on the belonging outside belonging system.
Also, wait, can we just talk about how great this thumbnail is that Kurt made? Because it's so good, guys. If you're on YouTube, enjoy this thumbnail. And if you're not following us on YouTube, you need to do it for the thumbnails because they're so good. Honestly, we should just compress them and we could use them as thumbnails on Twitch if we wanted to have thumbnails. I don't know if people care about thumbnails on Twitch, but your thumbnails are so good. More people should see them, Kurt.
I mean,
That's
it's
all.
just a special treat for people who watch the VODs mostly, I think. Because otherwise, I mean, when are you going to see them? You just
I mean,
won't.
I just feel like anyone that has served our thumbnails has got to be clicking them because they look so appealing. They look so fun. I'm like, what's that about? And then I want to click it. So.
Amanda's like, look at that thumbnail. Look at that beautiful woman in it. Why would you not click on it? I would. Very humble.
Humble brag. I'd click on me. You should click
I'd
on
click
me.
on me. We should get you a t-shirt with that. I'd click on me.
If you'd like to know more about the thumbnail, Anthony can tell you all about it using a document in our shared drive called Information About the Overlay.
I was very intrigued when I saw a document in our shared drive called Overlay Info. And I was like, what is this? Turns out it's exactly what you'd think it was based on the title. It is a lot of information about the overlay. Unfortunately, I have to log back into Google Docs because this is some really special
What?
stuff. Okay, do you guys want to hear about the overlay?
I
will say
yeah,
you will at some point need to access Google
context?
Docs because we will have a
it.
play sheet.
Okay,
The
I'm
court
ready.
singles? I'm trying to find it right now, actually.
Okay. Yeah. Sorry. No, there's no play sheet out yet. The court singles is just our rule book, which we will be using to build the world. And then I'll throw you into a play sheet. Haha, I haven't done it yet.
Oh, okay, good. Just making sure I didn't miss it.
Nope. All good. All good. Folks, you
Tell
love
us-
to hear us have organizational problems, I'm sure.
Great
They're
stream,
the
great
best.
stream.
Tell us about the butterfly court overlay.
Do you actually want me to do it, Kurt?
Yeah.
I mean, if you want to.
Great.
I want you to do it.
I
'cause
thought there was a
wanna know.
possibility that this would happen.
Do you guys want to know about the overlay? Is this what you subscribed for? Yeah, I bet it is.
Press
I bet
1
it
if you
is.
want to hear about the overlay.
Press one.
Press 2 to get on with it.
This week's overlay spotlights Byzantine number 3, a piece published in the Grammar of Ornament 1856. The Grammar of Ornament, by Owen Jones was an attempt to systemically analyze ornamental art from different cultures and eras. Jones was a British designer and architect, and the pieces inside were developed by him and his assistants. The piece itself was drawn by Friedrich Maximilian Hessemer, or John Burley Waring.
We're not sure.
It was printed by lithographer Francis Beeford, and its colorful reproduction was a major achievement in chromolithography. Oh, major achievement, look at that. Lettering was done by hand, this week, pulling colors from Byzantine, by a certain Kurt Reffling. The title features a drop cap inspired by butterflies, as you can see below me here, and the illustrations surrounding it. To integrate the lettering into the surroundings with a more natural, worn look, a grunge pattern from Texture Labs was isolated for specs.
Shout out for Texture Labs!
And this was adjusted to the manila color of the scan. Then, a shadow was added to make the UI elements more obvious. And this has been Butterfly Court's overlay info. Thank you very much for joining us.
And we'll see you next week when we create characters.
Oh, the Joker wrote 3 in chat. I think that's a real request not to hear about the overlay. I'm so sorry, Joker. You had to anyways.
Also, hello to
Very
everyone
shame.
over on the YouTube side, by the way. If we see you guys, we just want to say hi.
Hi.
Or if you're watching this in the future on the YouTube side.
We're not there, but we will be eventually. And maybe I'll reply to a comment 2 weeks after.
I will be keeping an eye on you, my lovely YouTube chat. So thanks for being here.
Now that was the most self-indulgent thing that's ever happened on this stream. So
Was it though?
What, the overlay info?
yeah.
We've spent full 5-minute periods talking about a spreadsheet that only we can see. So I don't know.
We've talked about way crazier stuff for longer periods of time. That is like, why did we talk about that for 20 minutes?
You know, that's fair. Now that you say that, I suppose that's fair.
We remember when we had Kurt create an entire RPG based on the fact that we're so tangential when we're together.
That's true.
That did happen.
That happened, and we played it, and it was good.
And it was good. He's a
You can
genius,
actually,
guys. What's there to say?
you can still get it for free.
Still get it on
It's true.
Kurt's socials. Let me put that in the chat for people. You
So
can still get it. Go to Kurt's lighthouse, a smoldering lighthouse, itch.io, and check it out. I'll put it in the chat for you guys.
would be very funny if it was
Also in the
just
video description for you.
Kurt's Lighthouse.
Kurt'sLighthouse.com.
Kurt's light.
Kurt, do you want us to stall or do you want us to ask you about this game?
Oh, no. Well, you don't have to ask me. We'll just talk a little bit about what we'll do. So
Let's
in order
talk
to
a little bit about it.
Yeah. So to play Butterfly Court, now I actually was talking about it before I was overlay interrupted. So essentially, this game is a system in tribute to, in line with, using the same tools as the famous Belonging Outside Belonging system developed by Canadian game designer Avery Adler, who is best known for Monster Hearts, The Quiet Year, and, of course, the system we're using today, Belonging Outside Belonging.
Wow.
That's actually a hell of a resume. So I
is.
will
Really
just
good.
say the WoW is not unmerited.
It's real wows. That's pretty sick.
So in this system, we're
Yes.
going to be using tokens in order to make moves as our characters. Just like in a game of Wanderhome, we have the opportunity to spend a token in order to do something maybe a little bit more challenging. We can get a token from doing something which gains us comfort, or perhaps the opposite of that. I don't have it in front of me. Some systems flip it. But in short, we will have moves based on our character and spend a token to do some, gain a token from doing the other kind. Before we begin, we're going to spend a little bit of time building the world that we'll be playing in today. So we have our country, which was mentioned in the thorough intro section, but is Praecia? I don't have it in front of me.
Praecia?
No, it is Praecia or something like that. I'm not sure how you pronounce it, but Praecia. Praecia.
I have not had to say it aloud because I've only read this in my mind's ear.
I don't know anything.
Whoa. She's just a little baby.
Thanks for saying that out loud. Clip it.
I don't know anything about it. Praecia? Where how do you spell it? Where is it? It's in the book?
Where is it? Where is this country?
Yeah, so
what page is it on?
It's on page 3. It's not opening thing. Praecia.
Yeah, Praecia. Sure, yeah.
Let's see if we ever pronounce it the same way twice.
And then we are in the city of Pheles, which is the capital, essentially. The jewel in the crown of the country of Praecia.
Yeah, I'd say Praecia.
I'd say Praecia. Myself.
Or Praecia, I guess, if you want.
Whoa, new
That
entrant.
sounds fancy.
I think it's a regional accent thing. Really depends on where you're from.
Where you're from.
Yeah, most of us, I'm sure, will be from Pheles, so we'll say Praecia. But if you say Praecia, that's
it's a different
tomato,
area,
tomato,
it's
right?
a different region.
And it's ruled by Queen Yora. But there are some things. Oh, sorry. No, Queen Yora is in the neighboring country, which is experiencing some unrest. But we won't get into that. What we're going to do is, we'll probably get into that, but not right this second. We are going to explore a little bit about the world.
I need to know about the unrest.
On page 6 of that document that you have open right now, we are going to be looking at quite a list of possible problems. And we will be choosing 2 of them to define the game that we'll be playing today. So what are the 2 current issues facing Praecia? And I am opening this to you 2. We'll be choosing.
Nice. For all of you who are watching, you can also now see this list. I'm just pulling it up here. We've got some options.
List?
Famine.
Page 6.
Page 6. Famine, drought, peasant rebellion, foreign powers pushing on the border, disgruntled nobles, a brewing coup, economic depression, too real, tension between religious sects, disease, too real, strange cult on the rise, too real, non-human court demands, too real,
too real,
too real.
International war brewing.
Too real.
Oh no. Royal marriage.
You've started it now, haven't you?
Why are all of them?
Natural disaster recovery.
Yeah, it's kind of real.
Too real.
Bandits terrorizing travelers. Not particularly real, perhaps. High profile assassination. Yikes. Too real. Rise in crime. Severe inequality. Refugee crisis.
Oh no.
Folk hero thief stirring up trouble.
Oh, that
Fun.
sounds nice.
We don't have that one happening in our real world. Why don't we have that one?
Depends on how you define it.
I guess it depends. I'm very curious to hear after stream who this folk hero
will
on
do.
the scene
Will
is.
do.
Our last 2 options are sinister prophecy proclaimed and royal family cursed.
Okay, well, I like the royal family being cursed. That sounds fun.
They don't like it so much.
Royal family being cursed is intriguing. I'll take it. That's interesting.
Sure, yeah. And we will need.
Let's not do severe inequality or economic depression, because then I'll be depressed.
Appreciate and economically as well. Yeah. So, yeah, I'm fine with that.
We need 2 though.
Cool.
So that's 1.
So that's 1, and that means perhaps Anthony would be interested in choosing a second.
What about instead of an international war brewing, it's an international brewing war? Whoa. We're all trying to brew better beer.
Brew better potions.
Over potions? There's no magic in this game.
Oh right, there's some magic. Only a little bit.
Apparently, there is some magic in this game. I did know that on an intellectual level, but I was so eager to suggest that we weren't fairies that it got away from me.
No magic, no fairies.
Well, I mean, y'all were roasting me last time for having too much godliness.
I don't know if we were roasting you. I think we were just pointing out the fact that there were
Roasted.
gods.
That should have been the thumbnail.
Yes.
I'm just burning up, and you're both
It's just
pointing a finger.
Anthony and us being like, clickable, very clickable. People would love it.
So clickable. I'd click on me.
I'd click. But I don't think we were actually roasting you. I think we were just saying the last game that we played had gods. For those of you that haven't seen those episodes, the last game that we played had gods. And we were like the people that followed the gods, and our god was gone. And then the game before that, we actually were gods, and we were building a universe. And we were like, there are some gods, and then there are some more gods. And then we said, are all these games going to have gods, Kurt?
That's what we said.
That's what we said. And Kurt said, no, actually, not at all. And now we're playing a game where there's no gods. Well, that we know of. Well, we could do the religious element and then like the
trade the gods
boring
back.
sex.
Just have like a theme, 2025 theme.
Gods. We should have a theme for our season and then see if people that watch every single episode, because I know there's a lot of you dedicated fans out there who would click. They tell us what they think the theme is.
Ooh.
Like the first season of What If, or like kind of Love, Death, and Robots, I feel like has that sometimes.
Set a show.
Comic
Love, Death, and
books.
Robots?
Yeah, I don't know things.
Love, Death, and Robots is on Netflix. It's a show.
Now I know things.
It's an animated show. Actually, I think you would like it.
I might. I don't so much watch.
It's not related to comics. It's just an original show.
Oh no, I don't.
And it's not related
even if
to
it was
D&D.
related to comics, maybe it's good. I just don't watch a lot of television. That's all I'll tell you.
Yeah. Well, if you get a chance, it's pretty good, especially the first season. I haven't watched the newest one though. There's a new season of it. It's kind of like Black Mirror. Each episode is its own little story, and then different like animation groups do it. So the animation is always like cool because it's stylistically different.
That's actually that's extremely cool.
That's
yeah,
neat.
yeah, and it's like kind of depressing. So
okay, Kurt, let's choose this last issue.
Were you serious about Brewing War?
No, I'm not serious about Brewing War.
I was serious about it. I thought potions brewing competitions.
No, I don't want
People are like, we have the best cure for warts. No, we do.
So I think like Royal Family Curse is cool, but it's like a little bit paranormal, like very like centered at the top in the middle of our noble world. So I want something that kind of diffuses that a little bit of contrast. So Kurt, Peasant Rebellion or foreign powers pushing on the border? What do you like?
I mean, let's say maybe foreign powers pushing on the border. It might be kind of fun to have like our we got options for that, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because there's sort of one more traditional situation and then one that's maybe a little bit more fantastical. So we got some room to play there, which is fun.
Okay, that's cool. All right, so Royal Family is cursed, and there are foreign powers pushing on the border here in the court of Pheles. Now, each player is going to answer only one of the following questions briefly in order to help build out this world. Come take a look at what these questions are. Can you see them all, Amanda, on page 7, I think?
Page 7?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we've got some options like what scandal recently rocked the court, or how is Praecia's neighbor Asmari more powerful, and why is this a problem? What unsettling stranger has recently arrived in the capital? I kind of like that. Okay.
Yeah, that's fun.
I think as soon as one of us is ready to answer one of these questions, just go for it. There's also a unique feature of how our version of Praecia is run, which could be cool, you know? Do some world building.
Ooh. What are you thinking? What is that? What does that mean?
This unique feature. I just, like, by default, we kind of all have an idea of, like, how, like, noble courts work. But, like, maybe in this world, maybe it's, like, maybe it's like Roman leadership where like you adopt someone to be your heir. So like maybe your like biological children are not directly your heirs, but you like choose.
It's like I chose this person, I adopt them, and then they're going to become my heir.
Yeah.
Oh, interesting.
Some of the best leaders, that's how they like to do it.
Or it could be
Because
like,
then it's not blood.
yeah, maybe.
That could be cool. I like that. Let's do that.
What if it's entirely matriarchal, and there are only like women loving women relationships running the entire nobility, and men are just like a second class?
Whoa! Second class. Wow. I don't know. That sounds intense. So wait, everyone's gay? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, everyone's a lady and everyone's gay.
So this is like some Amazonian stuff. This is giving me some Amazonian vibes. Basically, we're doing the court of like Themyscira, but it's Praecia. Or Praecia? That's kind of cool. I kind of like that idea.
Kind of getting ant colony energy from that.
Oh, interesting. Yeah.
Ant colony energy. We love when we give some ant colony energy in the butterfly court. Only
interesting. Wasn't even thinking about that.
That's true. Huh.
What?
Just butterfly connection. Good point.
Oh yeah, butterfly connections.
Joker in chat. They are all lesbians.
Yeah. Yes, I think that's the idea.
Good summary.
They're all lesbians. Yep.
That doesn't have to be canon. I'm just playing around, just offering some options.
I mean, I like it. I think it's interesting. It's intense, but it's really interesting.
Well, I like that it's not a like one of our issues. That's just something that's true about this place.
It's just how it works.
Yeah,
it's not like a problem necessarily.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. It's just, it's how it works.
Matriarchal society doesn't have to be bad. Although being like the men are like kind of over there doing their thing is a little like, well, okay.
I love the ant colony thing because you know how like ants have, what are they actually called? In my head I think of them as like prince and princess ants, which like they have
Queen
wings.
Ants?
So like,
when they fly?
Yeah. And so then they fly
Flying
off
ants?
and they like mate, and that's like the only male ants that exist are those ants that like do the mating thing, and then the queen just has her brood. And I was thinking it would be like fun, like opposite of like debutante ball, where like we like raise like particular like male specimens who are incredibly beautiful and have great genetic traits, and then we like reveal them to society, and all the like high-ranking women like choose their like, yes, I would like to have a child, I will choose this one, and they like have one season and they're spent. It's like you have 1 year where you are like a stud.
Everyone
and then that's
wants
it.
you.
Yeah.
This is like a universe. Kurt, I think Anthony is building like a novel series. That's what this feels like. It feels very grand.
Oh yeah, by the way, if you want to read my new novel series coming out, Queen Bee and the Courts of Astaristes, you can just check it out on Amazon.
I mean, I'm here for this ride because I feel like, Anthony, your mind is like really cooking with all of this.
So I think I have answered my question in a very long-winded way.
Sure, yeah. Great. And I'm just jotting that down.
I don't even know how to follow that up.
Lummox, I am not high. I am just in a creative mood.
That's just how we are, I'm afraid. This is just the energy.
Actually, I think I'm just well slept. This is my default. It's just normally I'm too tired.
I am very tired. I am also probably super gig. Well, I have also been having fancy sips, so I am not sober.
She is.
I am. Not booze, just FYI, just to clarify. But yeah, so
what is Rapala voting 1 for?
I'm sleepy. 1?
I guess we want to hear about the overlay again. Well, you see.
Okay, rebellion stirs in a corner of the kingdom. What is their grievance?
Ooh.
Their grievance is that the crops are not doing great and people are arguing over land.
Interesting. So, like
Like
it
basically,
feels like
there are fields, like one area's fields completely awful. And so now these people want to come and take the other people's land to grow their stuff on.
Okay.
Because their land has like shriveled up.
Interesting. Do we think? Okay, I imagine there's a bunch of like conspiracy theories or whatever about why
Like they
the
did that
land
to
has
us.
shriveled up.
Yeah. And then some people think it's like, I think like a natural issue, like an imbalance within the world.
Within the world.
That needs to be corrected. And some people feel that it is a curse that maybe stems back to the curse that is rumored to have fallen on the royal family. And that all of the bad things that are happening now in the lands is actually because of that curse.
Ah. Lummox, I feel like Lummox is fed up with us. Lummox, in the middle of you describing that, went, so a famine?
It's a famine.
You mean a famine? Anthony, are you high? So it's a famine. Okay, guys, come on. Let's cut to the chase.
Yes, like a famine, Lummox, like a famine. But I think it's actually less about like people starving and more just about like the pride of tilling the land. I don't know if there's necessarily like a food shortage in all of the country because of this, but I think there's definitely these two areas that are getting like they're getting territorial in the sense that they're like, look, you guys maybe mess with our stuff, or maybe the royals have messed with us, and so rebellion is a brewing. People are wanting to kind of want to fight each other that are from these two different areas.
Yeah,
I love it.
Great.
Do you want to give us like
the neighborhoods are not getting along?
It's time for West Side Story. Do you want to give us specifics about like what part of the kingdom is experiencing the so-called famine and what part is maybe blamed for this, just so we have specifics later on?
Allura is the one that lost the land.
Nice.
It's been shriveled up in Allura.
Okay.
And Farcian are the people that are still flourishing, that are right next to Alara. And Alara is on the sea on one side and on the land on the other side of the border. So the other issue is that like they're literally, Farcian is the only one that they're closest to. So if anyone was going to mess with their stuff,
it's kind of a peninsula.
Them.
I see. Okay.
The fact that I think they've
so
also
it's a
had...
peninsula.
So a peninsula.
And I think, and I think the fact that they also are close to the sea and they get the trade from the water and they get the fish from the water. Farcia is always kind of like, they haven't always gotten along because Allura was always the one that was flourishing more because they not only had the land, but they had the sea.
Okay. Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
And so there's already tension there.
There's already tension there.
Yeah.
Kurt, are you writing that stuff down? I didn't write anything down.
Yeah, I'm taking notes, and I will drop you two into the doc soon. I'm just cleaning up.
No worries.
He's not even showing us the cool spreadsheet, guys. He's keeping
it's not
it a
cool
secret.
yet. It's
He's
not
keeping
cool
it a
yet.
secret. He's hoarding it.
Still working on it, guys.
Still working on it.
So, Kurt, what is the whole city looking forward to?
That wasn't the one that I was gonna pick.
Okay, never mind.
Chose
what
for him.
Say?
I was gonna pick. So here's my thought. Bear with me. There's the question. Something has recently become a passion of the upper classes. What is it, and why is it difficult to do or obtain? So I think
that's very cool. Okay, what you got?
Among the few careers that a male can have after their decline, if you will, there are a few positions that are still of social value, of social standing, of social power, but as perhaps a telling element to this, one of those positions is being a fool.
Ah.
The best fools are near prophetic in their ability to speak of both what happens now and what happens in the future. Some say it is prophecy. Some just feel they have an ability to speak openly that many would not if they were not the fool. But while that has always been true, the monarch has had a fool. Perhaps a fool plies the company of the monarch in waiting. But recently, one of the upper nobles has their own fool who follows them around, making little quips, perfectly timed moments. And that idea is starting to catch on. Other nobles want their own fool, both for the freedom that it allows for them to speak in the court through the fool as a speaking piece, and perhaps also for guidance of sorts. A good fool is hard to find, though, and you're having a lot of charlatans as well, peddling their services as fools, but not having insights to provide, just being foolish, which, while it seems like that would be the point, anyone who knows a good fool knows it is not.
So wait, so just so I get it, it's like everybody wants a fool now. Fools are hot. Fools are in.
Fools are in this season.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. I love it.
Cool.
Okay, so to recap, we've found out that Praecia is run entirely in the nobility by women, and all gay relationships forming the sort of like structure and powers, sort of power structure of our nobility. Men are seen as sort of secondary to the ruling elite, but young, beautiful men get their 1 hour
Their
in the
one
spotlight
time in the sun.
where they are matched with a very powerful woman, depending on how beautiful and impressive they are, and then they fade away into lesser roles, except some become fools, which is in a way a very prized position, and you actually can have a lot of impact as you might be able to speak the truth, and the queen and the and perhaps the heir both have fools highly prized, and now fool madness is taking the court by storm.
Full swing.
And over in Allura, there is a famine. The
Allura,
peninsula of Allura.
Well, there's not necessarily a famine, but there is. I mean,
so
doesn't a
not
famine
a
imply
famine.
starvation? Doesn't a famine imply
It
starvation?
usually just implies that the crops are going badly, which then indeed leads to starvation.
Well, there's no starvation to be had, but there are crops that have gone bad.
Okay.
And fields that have become shriveled or corrupted.
Okay.
And as a result, there is a feud happening, and possibly a secret rebellion is brewing against the crown.
Gotcha.
Some
Okay.
people think it's related to a curse and blame the crown, and some people just want to fight with each other in neighboring. They want to fight Farsian, who's the neighboring area.
Okay, so there's anger both directed at Farsian, I think is what it's called, and
Farsian and Allura, and then there's also some people that are just saying
blaming
it's
the court.
crown's fault.
Cool.
Blame the crown. It is.
We're going to move on to step 3 of our world creation. This tells us that we have to decide together on this next fact.
Okay.
What 2 factions are currently opposing each other within the court? Who are they made up of, and why do they disagree? Feel free to sketch out only a little information. The rest could be decided as we play. But put the 2 factions on opposing sides of the faction tracker. Ooh. Cool. Example factions might be isolationist versus interventionist, magic versus science, supporters of person A for air versus person B for air, practitioners of astrology versus practitioners of tea leaf reading, or any other disagreement. Okay, and they told us to kind of think about our previous collaboration questions, and perhaps something arises from there. So that's kind of cool. Obvious things are, we have I forgot what the neighboring country is called again.
Farsian. The
Farsian.
the actual neighboring country.
Yeah.
Not one of the states of Praecia.
Our
Asmari.
area.
Asmari is the neighboring country. So we can assume that maybe Asmari is the one who's pressing on our borders as well. So that's happening. So there could be some
Okay.
sort of division about like whether we should be going to war, or maybe there's a faction that's in favor of Asmari.
Maybe some people are like, let them conquer. I mean, they're pretty cool. We could be part of their empire. We'd
Yeah.
have more resources.
That seems like extreme for, a faction in a noble court to be wanting to sort of
Surrender?
basically surrender, but it could
Yeah.
happen.
Could.
Alternatively, the royal family is cursed. I don't know. Is there like, you could have like a pro-royalist versus anti-royalist sort of faction division as well?
You could have people basically saying that, the curse was brought on by the family themselves, and that it is it's proof that we can't trust them to lead us. Because if they have been cursed and they willfully walked into something, then we feel that like they don't deserve to rule us.
Mm-hmm.
And that when you consider, especially in a society where your ruling monarch is selecting their heir, it's like that doesn't break the curse. That person's still going to be an heir. They're still going to be part of the royal family.
Wait, can I do some retconning? I feel like
Yeah.
I did so much world creation I forgot about some of it.
Okay.
I'm gonna propose that maybe my first idea was, okay, what if you select your heir and it's not your like it's not your
Not born.
your biological heir. I think that's too
you
much
thinking
on top
now,
of
like-
everything. Let's just get rid of that.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
Okay. Because I was going to say, I feel like that actually
not.
would speak more to it. Just because then it's like we literally need to have like a new person like basically elected in to like reset the curse. That's all. Because like the only thing is we don't have to do it that way. Maybe that's a change that'll come out of everything.
Mm-hmm.
Because the royals are like, it's just because they're related. But I was seeing it as like that's why you have to like break the line of rulership. So what do you think? Do you still want to cut it?
I guess I just like the like feeling of like, oh, so the royal family is like well defined by these
By like
connections
who
of,
is all related to each other.
And so
okay,
that,
okay.
So that
Yeah, we
in
can do that
opposition,
then.
it's not as simple as just like, choose a better heir. It's like, no, we want all of you gone. You are cursed at your core. You are dirtied. But if you guys like that part, we can bring it. We can keep it. I'd forgotten that it was
There's
true.
a middle ground, maybe.
Uh-huh.
We could have like the royal family has started choosing heirs in a desperate attempt to avoid
The
cursed
curse.
offspring.
Ooh,
Like they're reaching farther out from
Ooh.
the central line.
That's cool.
I like that. So it's like their way of actually coping with the curse.
And the question is it working?
I don't
That's a
know.
question.
I don't know. That's a good question.
We don't know.
Okay, so I'm really compelled by this idea of, okay, so there's like maybe one faction that has turned against the royal family because they've been cursed. Maybe it's connected to the curse in Allura, or we believe it to be so, that they've brought, ill tidings on the entire country and everything's going to fall apart. And then there can be some like loyalists who are on the royal family side. What I don't know is like, has the royal family already tried to choose new heirs in order to get around the curse, or is that something that's going to happen? Maybe we play and find out.
Fair enough. That's
Yeah.
what they say. Play to find out.
Play to find out.
Okay. We've got some factions. We have our anti-royals versus royal loyalist factions.
Royalists, if you will. Don't let me get away with that. Send me home.
Rapala in chat says, wait, what if the curse is fake? I think that's a great question. I think it's very possible that the curse is
very
entirely fake
possible.
and made up.
It might not be a real curse. We don't know.
Sometimes
We don't know.
Point.
a number of bad things happen in a row and people get a little
People
crazy.
get talking.
Yeah.
Yeah. Could just be all in our minds.
Okay.
Very plausible.
This does remind me of Orbital, which I think is a game we've played before, right? It's kind of
Yeah,
back to
yeah.
the-
That's one of the belonging outside belonging games.
yeah.
Oh.
So the next thing we have to do is choose a playbook. We'll have questions to answer about our character, and questions about other players, and our relationship.
Well, who were the two factions that we decided in play?
The
Oh.
the anti-royals, curse believers versus the loyalists. Is that
Curse
okay?
believers and loyalists.
Yeah. Do we have a better name for the curse believers? Um,
Conspiracy theorists.
That's not a better name.
Well, I mean, the curse might be real. Maybe they're right.
can it be something like something related to the curse? Like there's some like mythology around how the curse happened or when it happened. Like maybe it happened under like a new moon, and it's like the faction's called the Black Moon or something.
Let's go
Or
with the Gray Moon.
Gray Moon?
How about
Yeah,
just like believers of the moon?
sure.
Moonists,
Nope.
Mooners.
We could say Lunas.
Okay,
Lunas, yeah.
I like that.
Loons.
The loons and loyalists. Yep.
Loons is good.
Loons and loyalists. Ooh, I like
Nice. I'm gonna change the name of the stream.
that. New name.
New name Hoodis.
Okay, cool.
All right.
Great.
So playbooks time. And then
Yeah.
after we have playbooks, we need to have forces at work. This is the thing that reminded me of Orbital.
Yeah, so we won't really need to actually build that out. There's no questions that have to be answered in advance or anything. It's just we will have the ability to bring in that element during a scene. We'll have our character, and actually, yeah, so we'll have our character, and for those of you at home, a force at work in this game is some element of the setting that you have particular executive control over when you are bringing into a scene. It's pretty much all there is to that.
Okay, so for playbooks, folks, we want to go down to page 15, which has all the playbooks listed, and then in the following pages, I believe, are the rest of the playbooks.
Right. Now, would someone like to maybe read out the brief descriptions on, I think you said page 15, just so that everyone knows what we're perhaps looking at?
Yeah, I can do that.
Nice.
The artist, a passionate creator who is dependent on others for their survival. Lure. Whenever someone agrees to be your muse or model, they gain a token.
You said lure in the weirdest way I've ever heard anyone say it. Lure.
Do you want to take the next one?
Oh, sure. Sorry for making fun of you.
Would you two mind going back and forth?
Yeah, we got it.
Yeah.
The retainer, a powerful servant, close to the nobles, but nonetheless a servant.
Oh, dang.
This might be a great one to be a man, by the way, if you'd like to be.
Oh my gosh.
Lure. When someone asks for your help with something difficult, they gain a token. Very cool.
Cool.
Want to do the next one?
The newcomer, an awkward entrant into the complicated world of court. Lure. Whenever someone gives you advice, they gain a token.
The climber, an ambitious careerist searching for success or a place to belong. Lure. Whenever someone lets you use their resources to work toward your own goal, when someone lets you use their resources to work toward your own goal, they gain a token. That's cool.
That's cool. The scion, an heir of a noble family burdened by expectations and duty. Lure. Whenever someone asks you to do your duty or perform a risky task, they gain a token.
Okay. We also missed the bureaucrat, I think. So the bureaucrat, a master of secrets embroiled in court intrigue and plotting. Lure. Whenever someone tells you a secret, they gain a token. Ooh, fun. I want to be that guy.
Oh, that does sound pretty fun. I also like the sounds of the scion, too. The eminent, a meddling noble who seeks to arrange the fortunes of others. Ooh. Lure. Whenever someone accepts a gift from you, they gain a token.
Sweet.
That sounds like a cool character too.
Okay. First thoughts. I have to think, and now, Kurt, I want to give you first right of acceptance on this, if you'd like to take this, because it was your idea originally. But the retainer, a powerful servant close to the nobles, but nonetheless a servant. Well, does that not sound like a very high caliber fool? Yeah. Right?
It does sound like a fool. Sounds like a fool to me.
And then Amanda, you said the scion, which is the heir of a noble family. We thought a bureaucrat who's a master of secrets, kind of a little finger character. Seems very interesting. Um, what do you
I
want
mean,
to
they all
be?
sound really good. Like the newcomer also sounds cool. The climber also sounds cool. I like the scion and I like the eminent. So I like a lot of them.
Yeah, okay. I have two options that I think I want to play. I
Okay.
Well, I gotta think of this for a second. Okay. The awkward part is that I created a world full of powerful women, and I've come with two ideas to play male characters, and I'm like, that sounds great. Whoops. But the retainer, a fool, sounds really cool. And then, like, the newcomer could be one of these, like, a debutante, right? Like, just like one of these males
Ooh.
in their year of courtliness, and they like they don't have a lot of power. They're kind of easily messed around and manipulated, but they're trying to find their way. Those are the two things I'm thinking.
Mm. For like who you want to play?
Yeah.
Okay. I kind of like the newcomer as well as maybe like someone that's from a different land that isn't like run this way
And I think it might be interesting to
as
have
like a
somebody
foreigner.
from Asmari be
Could be
here.
cool. Could be cool. I also feel like I mean the scion could also be that person. They're an heir of a noble family, but they don't necessarily have to be from this area.
True.
Um, and that would also be a good person to maybe get involved in some stuff. Um, yeah, I do like the bureaucrat too. That is a cool role.
Never
Mm.
has been said before about a bureaucrat. I'm going to tell all of my bureaucrat colleagues how cool they are.
We think you're so cool.
We think you're so cool.
I wonder if the eminent could be a meddling noble who's actually allied with the loons
Mm-hmm.
and believes that the family is cursed and they're like, you know, like cousins of the family or something, or like not cousins, but like a rival, like noble family, I guess.
Well, imagine like the Duchess of Allura, for example.
Or like
Uh,
only so far removed from the crown and they're like, we could just take them out and then we could have the crown. Like could be our crown.
right.
Maybe they've been slighted by the royals before.
Yeah.
And yeah, they could be there and being like sort of asked to step up for the rebellion.
Yeah.
Or
Well, what if they were the Duchess of Allura, right? Like, what if you are like,
yeah,
then all of your people are angry at the crown? Wouldn't it be so easy to take their side? You have a
that's
willing
right.
force, a
You have
willing
people that would
rebellion.
fight for you.
Mm-hmm. Perhaps power is yours, and the royal family's cursed after all.
I also like the idea of the eminent as someone as like a character who is a noble who's translated.
Choose a role.
Well, does anyone have a strong like there's definitely a lot of different characters I could see playing
Uh-huh.
with this that I'm interested in. Does anyone feel a particular one way about like a character like definitely want to do that character or no?
Kurt, how about you?
Not yet.
Do you have any ideas?
The thing is, all the playbooks have cool things about them, so not particularly. I'm not going to break your tie.
Uh-oh.
Whoopsie daisy, the characters are cool. I gotta stop choosing cool games to play.
Yeah.
Well,
Thanks for
Do you
I
want to do
really
that Dungeons and
like
Dragons season? I'm
I
so
really
sorry.
like
I am sorry.
I really like Anthony your idea of the fool.
Yeah.
I think you should do that.
Okay. I will play the Queen's Fool and take Retainer.
Cool.
Now we
Uh,
all have to decide on things.
You know, that's true. That's true. I'll make a call. Let's say, I really thought 2 words ago that it was just gonna like tumble out of me. Um, Amanda, what were your front runners again? Just so I don't step on
I mean,
toes.
there's so many that I could be. Like honestly, the newcomer, the climber, the scion, the eminent, the bureaucrat.
I think
It's
I'll
mostly
take Climber,
okay.
and Anthony, you're my fool.
Okay. Cool. What kind of? Okay.
Does that make sense? Does that?
Sure. I was like thinking that to make the retainer as like powerful and relevant as possible, I should be the fool of somebody important already.
You know what? That's good too. But maybe I'm trying to like,
You're trying to get that fool.
I'm trying to get that fool, or I'm trying to like figure out why you're a respected fool figure.
Mm-hmm.
Yo, everyone, get that fool.
Get that fool.
One option. So I was thinking about like, what if I was the fool of the heir, or something like that. I don't know who you want to be, but one thing that could have happened is the queen could have already chosen a new heir. Could be you, could be a relative unknown being pulled from the outside, and then I could be your fool, and that might, your relative.
I don't think I should be in line for the throne,
that's
because
true.
like the
That's against the
scion
rules.
is. Oh yeah, it is explicitly against the rules. There is one character who can be an heir of the noble family, but even then, an heir of a noble family, not the royal family. No, I think it would be very inappropriate for me to have my own fool. I'm not really that high up right now.
I mean, it would be impressive if you did, which maybe is kind of cool.
It would be. That's the whole idea. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not sure what her name is yet, but my character, yeah, she's probably, I want to say, serves some kind of service to the court. Well, there's questions to go through. There's questions.
There's questions.
Yeah. Which means I should probably allow you into the spreadsheet now.
Into the spreadsheet?
We haven't seen the
yeah,
spreadsheet yet.
it's that movie. I'm like, it's a good movie. Amanda's like, it's the best movie, and you better believe that.
Well, it's definitely, I think it's my favorite superhero movie of all time.
I mean, that's big.
It's big.
And it's definitely high up on my like movies of all time list. It's in maybe the top 5. I really like that movie a lot. Probably the top 5.
Whoa.
Big.
Kurt
really
still hasn't let us into the spreadsheet.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, I do need to actually link you. That's really... I'm just a bad man who's keeping the spreadsheet all to himself.
You bad man. How dare you?
I'm just a bad... Oh, it's because I haven't even put it into the spot that we're going to live.
Yeah.
All right. Make a copy. Put it into our shared folder. Narrate the whole process so the audience doesn't feel like they're left out of our elaborate, joyous spreadsheet time.
Which one? You keep freezing for me. Which one of what? Auto?
What movie, maybe?
Which one?
There are several Spideyverses. Maybe that's the central question.
Into the Spider-Verse, the first one. Movie, sorry. Yeah. You guys were right. Into the Spider-Verse is the one I'm talking about. I love Into the Spider-Verse. It's one of my favorites. One of the best.
One of the best. Is a very good movie. We are proud of you, Kurt, for having seen it.
Thank you. I really appreciate that.
Oh my goodness.
I'm looking at my little questions over here. I'm very excited.
Walker said Yowie maxing. Are we Yowie maxing? I don't know. I don't know if there's a lot of... Is there a lot of gay boys that we've mentioned?
I mean, I guess we're Yuri maxing.
Yeah, we're definitely Yuri maxing. That's for sure happening.
Kurt, do we have a spreadsheet?
Yeah, it's there.
It's there? Okay. I didn't.
Yeah.
I didn't.
I see it.
And I don't see it now. I got it.
Now, I will say the first character spot, that's going to be Amanda. Second one's going to be Anthony. Anthony, don't click on buttons yet for the second.
Why?
Because they won't do the right things yet.
They don't do the things.
Are you laying traps for us, Kurt? Because you gave us specific spots.
Am I laying trap? No, I'm
He has done
traps.
it before.
The first one is Amanda. The first one's ready to go, and Amanda is least likely to ask us before she just kind of goes, blah, and like picks something. Anthony is a good narrator, and it doesn't matter if mine works or not.
His doesn't even need to work. Interesting. Okay, can I read some questions for y'all? Should we get into it?
Yeah.
Okay. There's a very cool little blurb at the beginning of the retainer. I don't know if I should read it or not. But the retainer is the constant companion of a noble, assisting them through the day and night. They are powerful because they are well positioned and well informed and can influence the behavior of their liege. They are weakened by their vulnerability to the whims of the nobles they pleased. Will you prioritize security, happiness, or influence? And to remind you, my lure is when someone asks for your help with something difficult, they gain a token. So if people ask me for things, they get tokens. Ask me for stuff, okay? I get to choose 2 aesthetics. So I'm a fool. I think I'm gonna choose. Oh, we're actually frozen in general.
Are we?
We're just Amanda. Oh, it's not good.
What?
I mean, I'm seeing us. Maybe we're back. We're back. Yeah.
Huh.
I
Sorry
think it
about
was
that,
only
guys.
for a second. I think I froze and then my camera probably turned on and off, and that's why I zoomed in. Maybe that's what happened. Or it could be because
Unfortunate.
I turned my camera off and then turned it back on again. Maybe that's what caused the freezing. But hello
can't
again,
know.
everyone. You can see me in motion, live and in color.
Yeah, but it does look like I think there might be a couple of freezes on our stream here. That's too bad. I apologize for that. I'll see if I can do anything
all
about
of
it.
us?
Yeah, I think so. I think a couple moments. Well, I'm not sure, but I will try to fix that in the background here. Okay, but let me go back and continue character creation. Okay. So I need to choose 2 aesthetics. I'm going to choose eagle-eyed. I think that my character is very alert and aware of the happenings of the court, very tuned in on that which is going on around them. The rest are like really interesting. There's like stern and stoic, which feel like weird for a fool to have. Stiff, academic. They're interesting choices. I think I will choose both eagle-eyed and eager, which is a fun little combination. And so, very attentive, very very there. A lot of energy, and so easily friends with many people in the court. But a soft interior, yeah.
Rumor has it that you can now also choose that in the spreadsheet
Ugh.
as I build the bridge out directly in front of us.
Do we have 3 ambitions?
You have 2.
Okay.
If there's a third option, no, you
Ignore
have 1
that?
actually.
What did I say?
What are you gonna do? You can only have 1 ambition.
Choose
Don't
one.
be so
I chose
ambitious,
1.
for God's sake.
Well, there's 3 ambition spots, and I was like, that's a lot of ambition, man.
Fully my fault. Some might say.
No worries. I just thought that seemed like a lot to me. I was like, wow, I don't know how ambitious I should make this character.
I have a position to choose, but I'm going to ignore all the choices and just choose fool. But one of the choices is companion, and I think that's pretty close to the role that I actually have to play. And now I get a keepsake from home. And I am going to choose... I'm going to choose a compass that points home, because that's pretty cool. And maybe home is not here. Maybe I'm not from this country, but perhaps from...
Ooh, where are you from?
I don't think I like to talk about it, but for those in the know, I am from Asmari.
Ooh, I was wondering briefly if you were from the sort of mystical place and that's what made you a good fool, but it's fun if that's what people assume.
I like that as a story.
And that's simply not the case. That's like your cover almost.
Yeah, I think that's really good. I love that. Okay, now I gotta choose a secret I know about an important NPC. Wow. Uh,
Ooh.
Unorthodox parentage of a child, illicit lover of someone important, a history of embezzling, someone's loyalty to another
Yeah.
country. Oh my
Embezzle, do it. I dare ya.
goodness. I dare ya.
This is how it always starts. They warn you about this in health class. Come on, man. Just try and embezzle. Just try it.
Oh my gosh.
Everybody's doing it, bro.
It's totally cool, man. You should just go for it, bro.
Just try it. Just try it.
Just one time.
Just one time.
How will you know if you don't like it if you don't try it, man?
That's what I'm saying, bro.
You guys are ridiculous.
Also true. Also true.
Also true.
Can't stand with that. I've never been silly in my freaking
No?
life.
You've never done it?
I've never done it. I'm not doing it right now either. I know you might think I am, but I'm not.
Uh,
Oh my goodness. Guys, I'm dying. I'm dead.
okay. Wait, Amanda, what is your character?
I made my character.
You haven't said a word. This is why I gave Amanda the first finished column, because I knew.
I just
Because
wanted to
you
know for
said-
context.
You said if I give you the finished one, then I know you'll just make a character and not say anything. And then I was like, all right, well, I'll make a character and not say anything. What do you
Well,
guys talk
fuck
about?
you then, Kurt.
I was like, I'll
live
do
up
it.
to my rights.
I'll live up to that. I was like, that's fine. I can listen and also select from the drops. Yes, I'm going to play the Scion,
Okay.
an heir of a noble family burdened by expectations and duty.
And do you know anything about them yet? No, maybe not.
Their name is Callisto,
Ooh.
and their pronouns are she, her.
Okay.
Callisto is
And-
a cool name.
It is a cool name. And they, my lure is, I mean, do I tell you guys the questions I'm trying to find out?
Well, we could have me finish
Tell
my
you
character
everything?
first, and then I just wanted I was just trying to remember what our web of characters was, so I could choose things that were aligned with it.
I am
Does it make more sense?
I am the ruler of Alara.
Okay, you are. Okay, then that was why I was checking, because I was about to make up a thing about the
Who's in the
ruler of
role?
Alora, and then I decided that's not fair. You're not an important NPC. You're a very important PC.
Yes.
Okay.
But
I
you
won't do
can
that.
definitely have some connections to that if you
Yeah, we
search
will
it
also have relationship things that connect us to
with
each
each
other.
other.
Yeah.
Cool.
Okay.
It's all connected in the circle of life.
Well,
I'm struggling coming up with a secret.
Ooh, I love a secret. Do you want help?
Yeah. My options
your
are
options?
the unorthodox parentage of a child, the illicit lover of someone important, a history of embezzling, someone's loyalty to another country. But I'm having trouble thinking about what
I said
important
embezzling.
NPCs.
You should do embezzling.
Embezzling seems boring, Amanda.
What do you mean?
Nobody
it
cares
seems
about
boring?
embezzling.
Yeah, but you're a fool. That would be pretty. Wouldn't that be pretty bad if people found out that you're an embezzler?
It's supposed to be about an important NPC, not me.
Oh.
I don't want to be the embezzler.
Oh, it's about an important NPC. Okay,
Yeah.
sorry. Read them. Read them. one
Okay,
by
okay,
one.
okay. The unorthodox parentage of a child, the illicit lover of someone important, a history of embezzling, someone's loyalty to another country, a history of practicing black magic, a great trauma, the theft of something valuable, and the mistreatment of servants, war crimes or cowardice.
I like trauma.
A great
I
a
like-
sentence
trauma.
that can't be said very often, I'm sure.
I like trauma.
I also like dark magic. I also like knowing who someone's lover is, and I also like the idea of like a secret alliance to a country.
Yeah.
Those are all really good picks. I think that's all really valuable information that you could use in the game.
What about
Could also potentially connect you to other characters.
what if the important NPC is the leader of Asmari?
Okay. So you know something about the leader of Asmari?
Yeah.
Okay.
And what if they're related to somebody connected either as lover or child, perhaps to our royal family in some way. But only I know. But I can't wait. The leader of Asmari, it actually tells us who it is. Oh, it's ruled by Queen Yora. Okay. She's a lady. That's
True.
important. Okay. Here it is. I've been around the court for a little while. I've seen things. And perhaps in a previous role, perhaps not before I was beholden to the heir of the queen, I happened to be on a court visit to Asmari, and I saw our queen and the Queen Yora of Asmari. I saw them in the garden. I saw an illicit kiss.
Oh,
Gasp.
big gasp.
Between our queen and their queen?
Yeah. Queen love.
Forbidden.
Forbidden. Okay. All right. Thank you. I'm sorry that took me so long. Choosing an ambition. I am going to choose.
Would you guys mind while you go through and select some of your stuff, Anthony, if I just take a quick little bio break?
Yeah, for sure. I can update you later if you want.
Yes, yeah. I definitely want to hear more. I love what you're building already. It sounds so good.
Okay. I'll tell you on the other side. Oh, sorry. So Kurt made a stinky face.
I just had a problem. It's not that. Oh God, the timing on me saying that after stinky face.
I just had a problem. It's okay, Kurt. It happens to everybody. Sometimes when Kurt makes spreadsheets, this happens before the stream starts a lot, where he's making a spreadsheet and he's like, has a lot of facial stuff that's happening because of the spreadsheet, and I always think it's about me, and it's a real problem. I'm like, whoa, what did I do? Why have I offended you so? But it's never about me.
It's always about spreadsheet.
Otto suggests that my ambition is to build a scale paper airplane airport. That's cool, but I'm going to say no this time, Otto. I'm going to do a no but in this improv. My ambition, I don't even really follow the prompts here. My ambition is for my love to be legitimized. And specifically, I am the close companion and fool of the princess, the biological heir of the queen, and we are in love, which is against everything, not allowed in any way, and my greatest ambition is somehow, some way, for our love to be allowed to survive.
Dang. Oh.
My character's name will be Orion, I think. That's one of the options here. I like it. And then it says, pick one of the current issues that's happening that we've decided on earlier. And note down why your character cares about one of these issues. So, I think so. To me, this whole thing about the curse of the royal family was very personal, because I'm deeply involved with all of them. And I think I'm aware that this threatens my love's possibility of becoming queen, of it being passed down to me. Or to her, rather, sorry. And I'm going to say I care in two ways. I don't want to see her birthright stolen away from her by the Lunas and their wild conspiracy theories. And yet I know that if she is to be removed from the line, the royal line, perhaps the pressure off, she might be able to take a male lover somewhere secret and out of the spotlight.
If you're part of the official royal line, you don't have such flexibility.
Correct.
But if you're just, there,
Just forgotten.
just forgotten, part of the scenery, a former heir. Well, that changes everything.
Changes it all. Pick which faction your character is most aligned with currently. I'll say I'm a loyalist to the royal family. Obviously, I am deeply intertwined. And yet, have I flirted with the Lunas? From time to time. Okay. And then finally, out of the listed relationships, I have to give 1 to 2 other players. There only are 2 other players.
One of them can be with an NPC.
Either give 1 to 2 other players, or choose one to give to another player and create an NPC to fulfill another. Okay, cool.
So you do have options, but yeah.
So the options are direct employer, secret lover, trusted colleague, and supplier of gossip. So secret lover, I basically have already created. That's already there. So I could leave that, and then maybe I should give one of those relationships to you guys. You can't be my direct employer either, based on my little story I've created. I don't think either of you are a trusted colleague, so one of you should be my supplier of gossip. And Kurt, not just because you're the only person here, but I think it makes more sense. I'd like to give that to your character. So maybe we'll find out more about this as you create your character. But we have somewhat of a at least a terse alliance, and we exchange secrets. Cool.
Yeah, that makes sense to me.
Seem right? Yeah?
Yeah. I think we do exchange secrets. And I'm thinking that this is not just a means to secrets, but of course also a means to you, fool.
I see. The fool. Okay, cool. We'll do...
Is that your title as well? Like, people call you fool?
Yes, absolutely.
That only makes sense to me.
To call me by my name is quite a lot of respect that is not given to fools or most men in the court. So it's kind of a bit of a faux pas to do it, at least in public. So fool is my typical name, what I'm most often called.
A name for a fool?
Foolish.
Quite a thought.
I think we should probably leave our questions for one another to form relationships until afterwards.
Yeah.
So I've basically chosen everything for my character. I have some comfort moves and some challenge moves, and the way that works is every time I use a comfort move, something that sort of is a comfortable move, like activity for me, something I often do, I will gain a token, and that includes denying my own desires to please someone else, getting entangled in someone else's scheme, allowing someone else to receive credit for my work, shunning someone because my reputation demands it, suffering consequences as a result of my duties and my employer, and sacrificing myself. Those are all my comfort moves. That's what I do most naturally. And my challenge moves are all kind of the opposite. If I stand up to someone of higher rank, if I guide my liege instead of them guiding me, if I force someone to acknowledge my worth, if I get information through gossip, leave a task undone, oh my gosh, or switch my faction allegiance, that's something I have to spend a token in order to do. And that is Orion, the Fool of the Princess. That's all you gotta know.
That's all you gotta know.
That's all you gotta know. Amanda, the last little bits that you missed, which honestly was... Wait, I don't think it was a lot. Did you catch the bit where me and the princess are secret lovers?
What?
Okay, you missed a lot. So I'm the fool of the princess, but we have fallen in love, or at least, if you ask me, that is the case. And my greatest ambition is for our love to be allowed to live, because of course, if you are the princess here in Pheles, it's against everything for you to have a relationship with a man. It cannot be allowed. It cannot be seen. So our love is secret.
Very taboo.
Very taboo. So that's my greatest desire.
Is there a punishment for that?
Ooh, yeah, there is. I don't like exile for sure, I would say.
But is it like exile for the woman and death for the man?
I think that makes sense. Yeah.
Probably.
Yeah.
I had to choose one of the issues at play and why I cared about it. So I care about the like cursed royal family and the movement of the Lunists, because of course I don't want to see my love's position as heir to the throne removed from her. But at the same time, I am also keenly aware that if the princess is removed from the chain of inheritance, pressure's off, and perhaps in the shadows, we could actually have a relationship. So a bit of push and pull here. My name's Orion, and I think that's everything you need to know. Kurt's character is a supplier of gossip for me, and that's all we found out.
Now,
and you and I are probably in league with each other, or we could be.
We could be
allies.
We could be.
Because I'm also with the loons.
Right. I'm not necessarily with loons. I'm technically speaking a loyalist.
Well, I mean, you're with the princess, but you could be open to other options.
I could be convinced, perhaps, if the situation were such. I think, Amanda, you should tell us about your character, because I feel like you've had time to get it all together, and then after you, Kurt can tell us about his.
That's true.
And then it will be very late.
Yeah, and then I think maybe we play like next time.
Next time, yeah,
I think maybe that makes sense,
Yeah.
but that's just an option.
We'll figure out. Well, let's finish the character creation.
There's a lot of world building that we're doing on this one, so it might be a two-parter.
Yeah.
And now that the door's open to two-parters.
I mean, two-parters are just like when we have games that are bigger, we kind of need to.
Yeah, but we've never done it before. This is a whole new world.
But it's exciting. I like a two-parter. I think it's nice. Nice little short two-part, you know?
Yeah, definitely.
Death or castration. Death, says Locke. A fair choice. So my character is Callisto, the scion, heir of a noble family, burdened by expectations and duty. Her pronouns are she, her, and she is from Allura and is basically allied with the loons and is trying to utilize her people as an army, saying that, seeing an opportunity where people have been enraged by the lands being kind of shriveling up, and there being a lot of people that want to say that the royal family curse is what's causing this in the land.
It's been said before.
It's been said before. She's utilized some of these people who believe this in her area, which is quite a few, who have joined her in this sort of mission. One of her ambitions in life, her ambition in life is to basically secure a place in the history books. And what Callisto would love is if she could depose the queen and her line.
Whoa.
And basically take on the role of ruler so that she could prove to people that where she came from and who she is, and all of her family that have come before, that she's a product of something great.
Ooh.
And to help her people, who she feels like have often been just overlooked in a lot of ways. Now, there might be something else going on with her that I'm not sure about yet. We'll have to see where the story takes us. Oh. But she might know more than she's letting on about some things. That's all I'll say. But we'll see if that's where I end up taking this character, or if I even remember this next week when we get to it. But I have thoughts.
Well, we also have notes taken, and we love to have notes taken.
Okay, great. So we can review our notes before we jump on next week. So that is her ambition. I am playing to find out, can you balance your own needs with the needs of your family? What parts of yourself will you refuse to give up? What legacy will you try to build for your family and your future? My lure is whenever someone asks me to do my duty or to perform a risky task, that person will gain a token. And I chose two aesthetics,
Mm-hmm.
which is ostentatious and muscular.
Hold on. I'm
Ostentatious
just
and
now
muscular.
picturing this. What, what do you think Callisto dresses like? Ostentatious and muscular is like,
Loud.
You must have like
I
an
think she's
amazing
very loud.
back, I'm imagining, right?
Yeah.
Like broad, rippled back. What do you dress like? Is it like very revealing? Like
I think there's a lot of
strappy
feathers.
ribbons, feathers?
I think there's a lot of feathers, and I
oh
think
yeah.
it's very bright colors and colors that are very contrasting. So I think that's how Callisto dresses. Definitely in a way that I think also, yeah, shows off her physique. I think she's super jacked. Like, she's really, yeah, definitely stuff that shows off the back muscles.
Yeah,
100%. She'll take you to the gun show.
yeah.
So that's Callisto. That's her look. That's her ambition. Her asset is she is servants of unshakable loyalty.
Whoa.
So her people really do believe in her, and because she has allied herself sort of against the crown in secret with them, they would like die for her in an instant because they believe that Callisto is the future of Alara. So her people really do believe in her ability to bring Alara up in the world. They could be the new capital of Praecia. Why not?
Damn.
However, her weakness is that she's bankrupt.
That is a weakness.
Yeah. So when all of the areas shriveled up,
Yeah. You lost your income.
yes, that was actually most of that land. Maybe not everyone knows this, but a lot of that land actually belonged to the rulers of the land, and actually was almost like kind of being leased by the crown. So the
Sure.
other
Yeah.
thing
That
is
makes
that
sense.
it's
Very
technically
feudal.
Callisto's land,
Yeah.
but the crown had like ownership kind of over it, paying like Callisto and the family that she comes from for that land to actually harvest food for the kingdom. So that wasn't food that really fed Alara. So that's why when I say there's not a famine there, there's not a famine there. And the crown obviously has tons of places they commission from for the capital. So they're
What
also okay, but that means that the queen is very much aware of Callisto's situation because
what
now
do you
Callisto isn't getting that money from the crown.
what do you mean by tons of people they commission from for the capital?
Hmm?
What
Like
did that
the crown buys food from all over the place. So
Oh.
so the crown's fine, right? Like
Mhm.
it's not like the capital's starving. But
But
Callisto's
because these
destroyed
fields are
financially.
like there's no yield. There's no reason for them to give money to Callisto's family.
Sure.
And
Yeah.
Callisto's family was basically funded by the crown through their land that was being leased.
Mm.
But now
How,
because it's not useful, they've lost that contract. And that was basically Callisto's money.
yeah, it makes sense.
So
If
she doesn't have anything.
if the people of Alora don't eat, like if they're mostly eating food from the
They're mostly
sea or
eating
something,
fish, yeah.
why do they care about the fact that the lands have been cursed? Because I guess there's some trickle down of that,
There
Alora
are
would have
some
also
people
gotten
who it
money.
was their lands, but like I said, it also has to do with the fact that it's just a misfortune in the area and has affected. I think it's also affected like it's not just a loss of food, but it's also like a loss of almost tourism because there were a lot of people that came for the beauty of those areas,
Hmm.
and they've been like become like decrepit. Like the land is literally shriveled and become like almost corrupted in that area.
Yeah.
No one knows why.
Ooh.
Some people think, like I said, it has to do with weather changing. Some people think Farsian or have like manipulated the land in some way and done something to it, poisoned it. And then some people just say this is like literally the crown's curse. So it's not that they're necessarily directly affected. They still have food on their plates, but they're like, this is what happens when you leave the curse unchecked. And who's to say that next isn't like the sea we've lost one. What's to say that can't be gone? And then what would we have?
Right.
So it's just concerning because it's like they don't have the option now, really, of that.
Right. And it's also very
You
intense
can
to
trade
see
with
your
other
whole
people, but
your whole land like darkened and
uninhabitable,
cursed.
basically. Yeah.
Yeah. That's cool. I like it. I like that Callisto's the biggest loser of it all. Is that truly it's the Duchess who has lost all of her wealth.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, yeah.
And what presents me from being the ideal heir? Debts to a foreign power. I've had to take out loans.
Oh wait, so Callisto is not okay. So Callisto is the heir of the royal family, or of like the noble family that runs Alora.
Alara.
Okay,
Mm-hmm.
so her mother is the actual, what I've been calling Duchess of Alora, but the ruler of Alora, whatever. And you would just inherit this title at some point.
No, I was doing it like she was the ruler of Alara, but we could do it like that. That's kind of
It's
interesting.
just you're
too.
supposed to be the heir, so I was wondering what you were the heir of.
I just thought I was the heir that had already taken over.
I mean, that's fair, I suppose. Yeah.
No, you explicitly can't be royal, I think, is in the right?
Well,
Am I
not,
crazy?
She's not like the royal family of the
An heir,
of the country,
an
just
heir
of
of
the
a noble family is what it says.
yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not the heir of the royal family, though. Doesn't
Oh,
know what I
okay.
said.
Great, cool. Makes sense to me.
I basically rule.
Yeah, you do. Hell
Well,
yeah, brother.
I basically rule.
I was basically seeing it as like I rule, like a province, a state within the kingdom of Praecia,
Sure.
or my mother does, if we want to say it that way.
We could have your
And,
mother be exceptionally old, or perhaps, ill in some way, so she can't actually run the thing. So while you are the
oh yes,
heir,
I might be like running in place.
you are the
for her.
acting ruler. Yeah.
Ooh, that's good.
That's probably true. And because I definitely think Callisto is like also a symbol for her people.
And I can see that. She's New Hope.
At the risk
So
of
I
asking
think-
an obvious question, what are you doing here?
I'm trying to depose the queen. I'm trying to topple everything. I think I'm here to observe and to get as much information as I can. And possibly, I mean, if I could do it, I'd love to circumvent everything. I'd like to circumvent there being a war. I'd love it if I could just, kind of like covertly take the queen out or get the queen to agree to step aside in some way. If there's something I can pull out, if there's some dirt or something I can find.
And it seems possible with the chaos.
So I think Callisto is just trying to see if there's a way, or if that isn't possible, how close can I get to the crown to get as much information as possible that I can use in the war against them if it comes to that with my people. But I don't think that Callisto wants to use her people in that way. I think while they are very loyal to her, she also is very she understands everything that comes with being a ruler. She is burdened by those expectations and duty, and I think that she's always trying to see what she can come up with to actually be a good ruler for her people. So she's going to be thinking of like what's the best solution where like ideally no one in the land though gets messed up, because I don't want to hurt the people of Praecia. That's not what a good ruler would do. Although,
Right.
the queen, I don't know what she's like. So we'll see
We'll see.
if she has the same respect for her subjects as Callisto does.
She might not.
Might not.
Now, I believe you also have some not on the sheet, but definitely existent sort of relationship ties. There are a handful of things that you could.
Atomic Sorcery said, I'd love to know what kind of butterflies everyone is, for color scheme.
Sure. Yeah.
I love that idea.
Actually, I don't think we got a physical description of Orion.
That's a
What does
great
a fool
point.
wear?
But I love this because I already feel like, are we butterflies?
I don't think so, but I say.
But I'm just already thinking of like the colors that Callisto wears, like how you could like add that motif into like the outfits of the story of like Butterfly Court. Like if it was to become a movie.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I could see that being like elements of our costumes if this was the movie that is the RPG butterfly court.
Totally. Everyone
So like
dressed in
that.
kind of butterfly inspired regalia.
Yes.
Yes. Okay, well,
Yes.
inspired by that, I suppose. One thing that I love about butterfly patterns on their wings is that they
Mm,
often will have fake eyes on their wings, I believe, as a way of scaring off predators because it makes it look
yeah.
like there's some larger creature.
Yeah.
And so, to give a visual description of Orion, um, not like quite like classic fool wear as like gesture like primary colors because it's been played out and here in this kingdom here in Pheles things are a bit different. The colors are relatively muted. It's like we have like bright vibrant blues, that's certainly true, and then like oranges and blacks, but his entire outfits, of which he has very many and wears a different one every day as being visually appealing as part of the role of a fool, but all of them are covered in a myriad of different sized eyes, as if
Whoa.
he is constantly watching in every direction, all sort of like patchworked into each other. Often wears capes, long hose, and sort of very many layered jackets, each with sort of different, almost sort of like iridescent eyes staring out of it. And often wears makeup as well, that has sort of like many copies of his own eye painted up and down his face.
Cool.
Yeah.
Are the eyes on the outfit like fabric, or do you have little buttons?
I think they're fabric, but they're like iridescent fabric, like a butterfly's wing, kind of sort of. So they have a sheen to them that makes them look like an eye.
I feel like um the peacock pansy butterfly might be a good one for you.
Peacock pansy.
Yeah. It just looks, it's very bright yellow and it looks like it's just got a bunch of eyes on it.
Yeah, it's true. Actually, there's some yellow, orangey blues on the peacock pansy. That's
Yeah.
pretty good. I like it. I'll take it.
Um, I'm trying to find out what kind of butterfly I'd be. Um, so we have to add our relationships. But Kurt, did you talk about your character yet?
Not at all, no. So my character's name is, I think my character's name is Deimos. She is a climber. She has big dreams of ascending the social ladder and marrying into wealth and stability. I'm playing to find out how high can she rise, who will stand in her way, and how can I remove them? And what must I sacrifice to secure my dream? She's got a lure, which is anytime anyone lets me use their resources to work towards my own goal, they get a token. Now, Deimos is a sort of crafted figure. She's well groomed, she's smiling, she wants to marry into wealth and stability with, of course, a nice maiden who's well positioned. However, she is hot tempered. And I think this has blown it for her
Mm.
before. I think she did get close. She was pursuing a noble woman, and then they had some kind of spat. Deimos doesn't like to think about it and certainly never talks about it, but she blew her chance.
Oh.
Maybe it's not too late, though. Maybe Deimos can still find that noble house that will take her in and she will become a respected member of them and not just one of these common climbers. She's better than that. She is grounded by one thing, and that is nature. I think when Deimos wakes in the morning, it's early. She rises, walks outside, and in the first morning light, those are, no one would be able to witness this, but those are the moments in which she is most human, most present, least concerned about what could be, and just there. So that is Deimos, social climber. Now we have a couple relationship questions. We have to determine either. Now, Anthony has found this in the rule book. It's the only thing I think that I haven't put here yet because I'm a very bad man who didn't
You're doing
program the
great.
spreadsheet. We are going to either choose an important NPC or one of the other player characters, and they will be assigned one of the things that our character can have them as. For my character, that could be either someone you have dirt on, a rival, a best friend, or a co-conspirator. Now, I think, ooh, part of me wants to say that Deimos is pursuing Callisto, but has dirt on Callisto, and that's why this feels attainable.
Whoa.
Uh-oh.
What kind of dirt did
Gonna
they
try to-
got?
Gonna blackmail me into marrying you?
Well, I wouldn't put it that way, but yes.
Jeez.
But yeah.
Sheesh. I think the Lizzo has enough problems, but all right.
Oh,
Love
is the
it.
dirt maybe just that I know your identity?
What do you mean?
Well, aren't you the heir of a rival? Oh, maybe I got it wrong in my imagining. Where are you the heir of?
Alora, one of the
Alora. Yeah,
provinces
okay. So it is
within
Alora. Yeah. I mixed up Alora and what is the rival
Asmari,
nation
I
called
think.
again? Asmari. Okay,
It
yeah,
also
that's
starts
my
with an
fault.
A. That's confusing.
Vowels threw me off.
Yeah, I'm allowed to be here. I'm loyal to the crown. Not really, but you might know my true allegiances, or you might know that I'm bankrupt.
I mean, that's the obvious one, right? Knowing that you're bankrupt
the crown
feels like
would probably
the one.
also kind of have an idea that we might be bankrupt, my family and I. But
Right.
I don't know if everyone at the court knows that. I don't think I want anyone to know that. I think I'm keeping it like
Certainly not.
Yeah.
So then there's multiple reasons that this feels attainable for Deimos. It's like, I mean, their star is low now. That's when you get in.
True.
So that's the dirt for sure.
That's good.
Dang. It's intense.
Okay. So yeah. Amanda, do you want to hear what your connections are, your default, your set?
Yeah, for my comfort moves and stuff.
No, we know about your comfort moves, your relationship stuff. I mean, we haven't determined any of that for Amanda's character yet, right?
Yeah, we haven't done the relationships yet.
Okay. So, well,
What page is that
Anthony
on?
did ours as well.
Yeah.
But
My playbook, right?
Yeah,
32, but the list of things, now you can pick either one of us or an NPC, which you could create for this purpose. A committed ally, hereditary enemy, romantic rival, new friend. Oh, wouldn't it be sad if the last one is what you thought Deimos was? This is just me. This is just me going somewhere else.
And note that we still have questions to ask each other to concretize these relationships. So there will be more elaboration in a second.
I think that Orion is my new friend.
Oh, it's fun. That's a spicy relationship, as I am employed by your worst enemies.
Yeah, it is a spicy relationship.
Farsion, is that the name of the?
That's the name of the province here in our country.
Oh, you're employed with the actual worst enemies. Now I've done it twice in reverse. I see what's happened. Yeah,
wait, what? You're employed by Farsion and?
No, I'm not employed by Farsion. I'm employed by the princess, who you are trying to depose.
Yeah.
You actually get two, I think, technically. So
I have two relationships.
Yeah, so I could be your best friend. You technically also could have now an NPC be something else, or you could assign one of those roles to Kurt's character.
About relationships. Committed ally, hereditary enemy. Well, I mean, I guess hereditary enemy would be the princess, wouldn't it?
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
And that's
Like,
fun that I'm your friend and my employer and love is your enemy. Cool. All right, that's good. Kurt, did you want to choose one more relationship? Did you only get one?
I did only pick one. Amanda only got one too, though, didn't you? No, we just did the second one.
Did the second one.
I think my second one, my climber has a connection to a. Oh, wouldn't it be fun if she had a best friend? Who would
Okay.
that even
yeah.
be?
You're gonna have a best friend?
It's kind of cute.
Do we all have different options for what the relationships are?
Yes,
Yeah.
we do. We do.
Love that.
An
Oh, but I
NPC
don't
best
think I'd
friend?
play it straight. I think I would. I think I would end up with a frenemy, right?
That sounds more your speed.
Whatever. I'll give myself a frenemy. That's allowed.
Who's your
Ooh.
friend of me?
Yeah, who's your frenemy going to be?
What a question. I think my frenemy is I think there's a serving girl here. You know what? Screw it. She is my best friend. There's a serving
Nice.
girl.
I like that.
This is maybe one of my few like pure relationships. Uh, she's just a sweet serving girl.
Yo,
Her,
Damos sounds complex.
her name is Ocha.
Butcha. I love
Ocha?
it.
Yeah, Ocha. She's a
Ocha.
serving girl,
Okay.
and she is just the kind of nice that I didn't think you could be in this place.
Is she hot?
Well, it doesn't matter. She's not. Look, you don't date a serving girl.
Deimos
Obviously,
could never.
Deimos could never,
Mm-hmm.
right?
But is she hot?
Oh, I didn't say this, but I think Deimos, obviously, latest fashions type situation, right?
Okay.
And that's like where most of Deimos's money goes.
That makes
So we're
sense.
talking like cape. That's why did I open with cape? You know,
Obviously
it is.
cape.
It's like it's a summer cape.
Obviously.
Brightly colored with local dyes. We have like a lot of clasps and buttons on the front. Some maybe it's not filigreed, but it's like embroidery to give the idea of filigreed. You know, she did the embroidery herself. Certainly couldn't have afforded to get anyone to do it. She'll tell you some like a designer figure that isn't real that she had do it for her. Right, our ask left, ask right questions.
Yeah, we had some ask left, ask right. I think this might be our grand
I
finale.
also love like the cape. I'm imagining it as like a rainbow cape. I just want you to know.
I just want you to know.
I feel like that might be part of what caught Callisto's eye about Deimos initially.
Ooh, I like that.
The fashion.
The
'Cause I feel like
passion.
Callisto, the fashion, the passion for the fashion. Because I feel like Callisto would be like, who is that striking woman? I think she'd be into that.
Striking woman. Cool.
So now we have to ask each other things.
Yeah, so the bottom of your playbook, you have a list of ask left, ask right questions, and
Okay.
choose one to ask me, choose one to ask Kurt. I've already chosen mine to ask you two. Do you want me to ask first?
Yeah, ask first.
Okay.
Where do I, or are these just on the page?
Yeah, I didn't
Okay, so
build the ask
relationship.
left, ask right.
Oh, okay. Yeah, no, that's fine. So we just copy and paste our relationships from the page. So we have Ryan is my new friend. And then what's the princess's name? Princess.
Ooh, good question.
Does she have a name?
That's a good
Princess.
question.
She
Is
should.
my
have a name.
hereditary enemy.
Should give her
And
a name.
then the questions are just below left and right. Okay, yeah.
What about Charon for the princess?
Sharon?
Yeah.
Sure. Sharon or Karen?
Not Karen. Charon.
No, but like with the CH?
I'm in my head. I'm spelling it Ceren. It's a Turkish name.
Oh, okay.
What's the name of the queen? We know. Well, I think we do know.
Yes. Yeah, we do.
It's up here somewhere. The current monarch is Iotalas.
Yes.
Iotalas?
Yeah.
These names are crazy.
These names are crazy. So I told you guys that I knew what questions I was asking you, but I actually read the wrong playbook, so I have to re-choose. Oops. Sorry. Okay. Kurt, I'd like to ask a question to Demos. Are you ready?
I am ready.
What favor have I asked of you? Remember that you're we gossip together.
We gossip together. Yeah. I think you keep asking me these little favors that seem innocuous on their own. I think all of them on their own don't point towards anything. But if I was more focused on you as a person and your origins, I'd realize that these have ties to the cultures of a certain foreign nation. Little mementos or dishes. Oh, do you know if anyone in the court has access to this particular spice?
Yeah. Where can I find ground cherry?
Mm-hmm. That sort of thing. I think it's been small favors that you might ask a friend, but if one were to put them all together, it would form a kind of picture. And I don't think I have put them together.
Okay.
I'm not thinking about you as a person. You're just a man.
I see. Okay. But all of the information is there. You could put together.
Yeah.
Okay, that's cool. Amanda, are you ready?
Mm-hmm.
How do I hold the key to your success?
I think that my plan here, my ultimate plan, if I have to do it, if there's no other way, is that you're my way into the royal chambers.
Okay.
Because you have access.
For perhaps the most desperate maneuver.
Assassination.
A little knife in the dark.
A little knife in the dark, yeah.
Wow.
So I think that's a way that you can be my success, but only in the most desperate of times. Oh my goodness,
there's a little cat face. Hello.
So
this is
cute.
Lily.
It is so Lily.
Cute. The way that Lily looks up at you is like the cutest thing ever.
Yeah, she's very sweet.
So yeah, that's I think my answer to that one.
That's good. I like that. Is just a follow up? Is your friendship with me, because we are friends? I think you.
Yeah.
Is your friendship with me at all real, or?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. So it happens to also be real, and
wait till I
ask
convenient. You your question.
Okay, great. I'll let it be. I'm done.
Right.
Where should I put notes, Kurt?
I didn't give you a spot, did I? Yeah, bottom's fine, and I'll make you a nice box for next time as a treat.
Thank you. Oh.
Kurt, how did I enchant you?
How did you enchant me? Oh, I see. You found a sin box, Anthony. Those 2 boxes aren't for you. Make yourself a new box.
Sorry, folks. I distracted Kurt by finding a box that I was not supposed to find.
Well, those boxes do this, you see.
Yes, I see. There's some fancy, cool boxes in the spreadsheet, but I will ignore them and make a new one.
Sorry, was I supposed to be answering something instead of helping Anthony not write over my silly spreadsheet?
Yeah, I asked, how did I enchant you?
Oh, how did you enchant me?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the obvious answer is opportunity, but I do think there's something genuinely charming about you as well. I think I think your physical presence is so domineering that there's a certain level of envy when I see you walk down the hall,
Oh.
muscled and powerful. It's like she looks the part. She belongs here. I want that. So I think that's what Deimos sees.
So you like me for my muscles, huh?
So is everything Deimos does just super sapphic? Because like definitely on some level, Deimos is a lesbian, like most folks here.
I
But
feel like Deimos is into muscle mommies. That's what we just learned.
I'm glad that's what we learned.
Atomic Sorcery says Deimos sees who she wants to be, and that's right.
Ooh, yeah, I love that.
That's exactly correct.
Definitely true. Cool. Thank you for answering that question. And then what? Do we go the other way?
You asked Kurt. So now you should ask me, I think.
Okay. So, Anthony, what debt do I owe you?
Okay. What debt do you owe me?
I owe you. And that, do you see what I mean? Does that question not answer your question?
Yeah, it helps. It helps. What debt do you owe me? I think you're obviously unwelcome at court, because the faction of Lunas are not a secret, and you are their messiah, the person that they want to lift up.
So people know that I'm loyal to the Lunas, but I'm still at court?
Well, yeah, but it's obvious. I mean, like, you perhaps in public are like, oh, I don't have anything to do with those ridiculous peasants.
But like, just people know.
But they speak of you. Like, they want you to be queen, right? That is well known. So you are a threat.
Right, but I'm like, I didn't do anything with that.
You're like, well, not my thing. But obviously you're a threat. And you received a cold welcome to court. Few people would give you a place to rent, like a home, an estate to hold here in the city. And you were not being invited to any social events. Everybody afraid to be the one seen connecting with you if perhaps the queen was to bring down her hammer. And so you were not invited to the ball of the year, where all the young men were to be paraded about. But you did show up at the gates of the castle, trying hopefully to find some way in to make an appearance at this important social event. And in the back garden, who was it that opened the door just a crack, just so you could sneak in unseen? But a fool, unnoticed, who thought perhaps in his best interest he might welcome you in. And that's been enough to get your toehold here in civil society. You appear to have been invited to the Queen's ball. And then people were
like, oh, maybe she is cool. Like, maybe it's all good.
Yeah. And so
Queen doesn't seem to mind. She invited her.
Yeah.
And then I charmed some people, hopefully.
Exactly.
Yeah, that makes sense.
And so I gave you that first opportunity.
That is a pretty big debt that I owe you, because I literally couldn't be at court if it wasn't for your help.
Right. And I might call that debt in.
Maybe you will. You could. I do owe you.
I think that brings us to Kurt.
My two questions that I have chosen, and selfishly, only now is the spreadsheet ready to let you click down and choose the questions.
Ah.
What insult? I'm going to ask this to Orion. What insult did you pay me that I will always remember? I don't know if this was by intent or by
That's a good
circumstance.
question. I like. I think this was an attempt for Orion to be helpful and honest. Orion is a fool, which means Orion can say exactly what he thinks at all times and seemingly get away with it. Just for like symmetry and fun, let's put it at the same ball. Is there any reason why you could have sort of gotten to the ball, Deimos? I mean, you're not nobility yet, but you are, in polite society.
Right.
Do you have any sense of what kind of ploys Deimos would use? Maybe in the employ of somebody, or
yeah, I think they always need volunteers at balls because certainly the nobility will not do it. And while the nobility can also pay servants, there are roles for those who would wish to be genteel, and one of them is like a coat check function. So I think that's what I was doing, and I think luckily for Deimos, there's not public shame in that position.
Right.
I think it is seen as exactly what it is, which is to say, an opportunity that's taken by the opportunistic. That's where we would have met each other. Were you like, what would you have checked at a coat check? What would you have said there? That's not the question. The question was
check.
Actually, I've got an idea. So I think one of the ladies requested her baton, her like staff. What's the right word? Not a mace, but if you're royal, you have a scepter. A scepter.
Yeah.
And so scepters are relatively commonplace here in Pheles. Like they are a piece of fashion wear that people will hold on to. But
accessory.
It's an accessory, but people don't like having a scepter at a ball. You might want to. It's sometimes annoying, and so one of the ladies has checked her scepter early on. Now, having a scepter is just a noble thing. You cannot hold a scepter if you are not of nobility. They actually do have iconography on them that indicate your noble house, but she sent her lady-in-waiting to get you to return her scepter to her because all of her friends had their scepters and she wanted hers. And so you were making your way across the ball, holding the scepter of this lesser lady, walking across the ball. And I, flitting from conversation to conversation, enjoying myself, having the time of my life, passed you and went, "Oh, a common thief. Someone's stealing a scepter." And you, for a moment, enjoying your place, went, "How do you know? This could be mine." And I looked you like up and down, and right in your eyes said, "Nobility is not won by holding a scepter, dear. You can see in the eyes who is noble and who is not. It is a quality of the heart, and it's clear you don't have it."
Elitist.
It's just true.
okay. That's great. Not subtle. That happened. I guess for our scion, The question I am asking you is, how did I show you vulnerability?
Ooh, ooh, ooh. I like this relationship that we're developing between us. You said your embroidery. Tell me more about the embroidery on your clothes.
I did it myself. I try to pass it off as something that was done by a figure in fashion that does not exist.
I know that you embroider your own clothes.
Gotcha.
You told me that.
I told you. Ooh.
I think I was admiring your outfits and we were talking. And as we've gotten closer in court, you basically like let it slip one time that you were like, I know initially I said that someone else has been doing my embroidery, but the truth is, you can't tell anyone. You should promise me you won't tell anyone.
You mustn't.
And Callisto said, of course, I would never tell a soul. What is it? What is there some magical creature that embroiders your clothing? Is that the secret that you've been hiding? And I think Demos just said, I am that creature. And I think that Callisto was like, well, you are a magical creature indeed, then. And just loves that you embroider your own stuff. Super here for it and definitely would never tell anyone about it.
Gotcha. Cool. Sick. Great. And I think that brings us to the end of our session, question mark?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
Great.
No last details? We've said everything we want to say about our characters?
I'm pretty happy.
Yeah, I'm pretty happy. I feel very like three-dimensional.
It is how we spent our entire session, so that does make sense to me.
Hopefully we did something.
Hopefully we made some characters that are kind of good.
Yeah, that was cool. I liked it a lot.
Yeah, I like that a lot.
I had a feeling this would click with us.
I'm just super excited to get to play these characters.
So am I. And in a different season, a more hubric Kurt would do so, but perhaps I've learned.
One day, you know, when we're as big as Critical Role, then we'll
Stop!
Just play all
don't do that. Why do you do that?
It embarrasses Kurt
for
so
indie
much.
RPGs. Then we will. We'll just continue. We'll be on our set, and it'll be crazy.
Well, in previous
Critical
seasons,
Role will call us, and they'll say, "Can we come chill tonight?" And we'll be like, "No, we got a big session." Not tonight, Critical Role.
Y'all play D&D? Nah. We're not into that. Nah.
We're not into that 5e.
Atomic Sorcery. I cannot imagine bringing these two into a game of Burning Wheel.
I forget. I think I know what Burning Wheel is.
I don't know Burning Wheel.
Big book.
What is that?
Big book.
It's some people describe it as sort of a storytelling RPG, but it's also crunchy. And those two things don't exist in the same spot very often. And let me be clear, folks, both of these two can play some pretty heavy board games. Do I have personally the capacity to play a pretty heavy board game at the same time as I'm doing pretty heavy improv? Oof, I don't know.
Sounds hard.
I don't know if there are any Burning Wheel actual plays. There must be, right? But I don't know about that.
My thing is like I don't mind things that are a bit crunchy, but I do think I like it better when the action is more closely tied to the storytelling, because then I feel like it all kind of builds towards the same spot. You know what I mean? Like it keeps the motion going for your story or your campaign. So like my types of combat that I like to do are like anything where like everything's kind of like connected to who your character is. So like you shifting the character and personality even shifts the way that you interact with combat. And it's usually simpler math because it's less dependent on like chance and more dependent on story. So I like combat that's more like that. So like D&D combat is fine. It serves its purpose, but it's not always as connected to story. But then part of that is also just who runs your game. So I don't know Burning Wheel, but if it's like all crunch, then where's the story would be my question. Like how integrated is story into combat? or how integrated can you make it?
See, you assume that it's crunchy because it has crunchy combat. It's not just combat. It's crunchy social discussion. It's crunchy like a
Cool.
riposte of words. It would also be crunchy. I oh boy. It would be a
But
whole
then that's
thing.
less about like, I mean, I guess you kind of let the crunch rule the story. Is that more how that works? Because
Impossibly, the crunch is also how the story happened. I can't even begin to. Anyway, it's
that
neither here
sounds
nor
like
there. I was
a
nerd
totally
sniped by
different type
atomic
of game
sorcery. Yes, it
Looks
is.
so
It is.
cool.
than what
It
we
is
usually
very
play.
unique.
Because I feel like we like to let the story lead the way. And that sounds like something that's doing something a bit different. Not that there is no story, but
Fair enough. Me personally, I'm happy to keep exploring systems that wouldn't take me months to prepare to
yeah,
play with you
same.
online.
Same.
that would be
Same,
challenging. Guys,
Very
thank
skill
you.
based and about using your character's RP almost like a cudgel.
Sounds very interesting.
Okay.
Atomic sorcery. Very neat.
Mm.
Maybe not on this stream, but who knows what the
Wasn't
future
even
holds.
Requested. I just got distracted.
Yeah,
It wasn't
totally,
even
totally.
requested.
This has been a delight. Sorry to those watching that we didn't get to play today. I hope that you enjoyed our character creation and that you will come back next week. Wink.
Wink.
Asterisk. If I'm not sure 100% this next week, but a Monday in the very near future to play the game with us, because I'm looking forward to that. Do we want anything that Kurt, Amanda, you guys want to let people know about before we sign off?
My
Kurt?
Daredevil Born Again review is up for
Yeah.
season 1.
Okay.
It just went up today on YouTube. So if you guys want to hear my thoughts on season 1, let me know. Or don't let me know. Just watch the video and then let me know you were there. Comment and say, hello, it's me from Liza Enjoy. I came over here because you said it was up. So that's on my YouTube. I'm going to be doing also probably a Doctor Who video soon.
Oh, hello.
And also Last of Us episode 2. Honey. So we're gonna do that, and I'll be back on Thursday morning to RPG, not to RPG, but to play Split Fiction with
Okay.
my friend Lucy, potentially. Or actually to maybe RPG in Assassin's Creed Shadows. We'll see. We'll see. One of those things will be happening. Yeah.
Folks, we'll see.
What about you, Kurt? Do you have anything?
I don't think I have anything to plug this week. I guess no. I thought about it for a second. I went, what if? And then I went, no, I don't actually think there is. And that's great for me. So no, live your best life out there. Play some good games.
All right. Anthony, do you have anything you need to add?
Nah, just come back and join us. This is going to be fun to play this game.
All right. Should we raid into someone?
Oh, we should. We should. I do.
The new ending question.
I do, in fact, have the tabletop RPG page open here. Huh. Did we?
Thanks,
We
Otto
raided
and
into
Marvel.
Wanderer's Haven last time. They're playing again, but we could also go make some new friends. Any recommendations? Anybody? Have a good week, Marvel Man. Thank you for joining us.
I'm
Marvel
pulling
Man.
up. I'm pulling up the section. Trying to see if I recognize any obscure type indie type games.
Uh-huh.
What about the Quiet Year?
Oh, is there the Quiet Year?
Yeah, G Game Nights.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely the Quiet Year. Hell
Let's do
yeah.
that.
Okay.
Folks,
So
the
it's
Quiet
just
Year
capital
rules. Guess
G
what?
and then
System
Game Nights with another
by the
capital
same
G, capital
people.
K. Oh, as this?
It's not the same designer, but the system is the
Oh,
same.
okay, yeah.
Avery Adler, who made Monster Hearts.
Okay,
and made
yeah.
Belonging Outside Belonging. That's the core of the system that made the game that we played today. So
Wow, that's cool.
yeah.
Do you got them, Anthony? Do you need me to send it?
I got it.
Okay. So yeah, we're gonna raid in, and for those of you that are watching on YouTube, you
Thanks for watching.
can't join us, yeah, because this will just end on the raid. But thank you so much for watching, and thank you everyone on the Twitch side as well. You guys are awesome. We'll see you probably next Monday.
Probably. Thank you all for joining us.
Maybe some more at some point, because we do have 50 followers, so we have to figure out how we're gonna stream more to get our hours for affiliate, but that's a thing.
One of these months you're gonna see a lot of us.
That's true.
One of these months it's gonna happen, and you'll just be like, whoa, that's a lot more than I expected.
Whoa.
Whoa.
That's what you're like, folks.
All right, head on over to GK Nights and give them some love. A Quiet Year is a very good game. Very fun.
It's a very good game.
Very good
Awesome.
game.
We'll see you over there. Should we put something? Lies
What does that mean?
raid?
And what did we do last time? Raid, deal, enjoy.
Raid, deal, enjoy.
Yeah.
Raid, deal, enjoy. All right, see you over there, guys. Bye.
Bye, folks.
Oh, I didn't get a type at all for people to copy and paste.
Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't realize.